Yeah. What's good, people? What's the damn deal? Yeah, it's your boy Strill. Back up in this joint. What's good with everybody? Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. My level's coming through. Y'all can hear me, see me. Am I loud and clear? What's the word? Holla at your boy. Let's see what's going on out there in TV land, YouTube land. Razor Rays, he got his eyes peeled. He's up in the house early. Salute, Rays. Appreciate you dropping in, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Let's see here. We got Rich Free. He said we got crabs in the barrel, crabs in the bucket. We're going to get into it, player. We're going to get into it. Appreciate y'all checking in early. Looks like we got 4 people in the house. Wait for a few more to get in before we get into this deep. Man, I turn on these lights and stuff. I got hot all of a sudden. Let me crank up the AC. It's late February and we run the AC in Texas already. You know what time it is. It's going to be a scorcher. You already know. Salute to you, Ajima. Appreciate you falling in. Early. That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate the true ones that come in, support what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And that goes without saying for my man, Jamies. What up? Salute, man. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, I'm trying to get more content out there. Is my mic sounding all right? Can y'all hear me? Make sure I'm coming through. Y'all hear me okay? Everything's good? Whatnot. Let me know if y'all can hear me or if I'm just up here running my mouth and ain't nothing going on. All right. Today's discussion. Audio good. All right. That's what's up. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. So, topic of discussion today is financing the black community. You know what I'm saying? How we going wrong about lifting up the community and living our lives as black folks and closing the divide between the haves and the have-nots and other races. You know what I'm saying? Black community, it's not that we don't make money in the black community because we make plenty of money, you know what I'm saying? But as a whole, our communities aren't together like other communities. And a lot of that's by design. When I started doing research for this and trying to put an argument together or figure out where else, which direction I was going, hold on a second, let me take a little bit of libation. Wet my whistle, if you would. So, yeah, so when I was putting this together, trying to get, formulate an idea or a video, I started getting depressed, man, because like, as you know, the system is definitely stacked up against us, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, as I'm researching, looking back, I'm like, no wonder our communities aren't doing as good as other communities. We don't have as many businesses. The household and families are falling apart, you know what I'm saying? But that's not a reason not to concentrate and talk about these things and start a conversation, in the community and how we can get better and do better, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start it off, let some people come in, and I'm gonna start off with this first video, and we're gonna take it from there. So y'all just kind of bear with me as we struggle through the struggle stream, and make it happen, you know what I'm saying? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is how the government destroyed black families and whatnot and what have you. So we're going to start from there and branch out, you know what I'm saying? I just got to touch on this. And we could go back even further than this, but I think a good baseline is the civil rights time and all that good stuff. And that all this ain't going to be educational and boring. We're going to have some fun. So y'all make sure you tune in, tell your people to check in. And if you got questions or comments or whatever, leave them below, you know what I'm saying? And let's see here. And of course, my internet will start spooling.
Welcome to High Level.
I'm trying to do something here. All right. Here we go. Give me one moment, y'all. All righty, let's see here. Let's try to get this. All right. Exhibit A. Let me know if y'all can hear this okay when I'm playing the video or not. And let's do it.
In order for their children to get meat and fathers have left home in order for their children to get meat and bread. There are so many dehumanizing elements in the welfare system that we are concerned about removing. Ultimately, we are concerned about a guaranteed annual income. And the other thing I think it is very necessary to say is that everybody's on welfare in this country. And when it comes to black people and poor people, we just call it something else. When it's for white people and rich, we call it subsidies.
It's no secret, fatherless households are more common in the black community. A survey from the American Consensus Institution revealed that 67% of black children under 18 in the U.S. live in homes without fathers. This is a stark contrast to white children, as only 24% of them live in fatherless homes. But it wasn't always like that. The black families survived.
So you see that, only 24% of other households are without fatherless homes, opposed to the black community. Appreciate you, Jamies. Keep the comments coming, man. I need that interaction so I know I'm on the right track here. All right, appreciate you. Salute.
Generations of open racism, widespread poverty, and slavery. They lived through segregation and violence, and strong family bonds used to be the norm.
As of 1960, 2/3 of all black American children were living with both parents. That declined over the years until only 1/3 were living with both parents in 1995. So it's not the legacy of slavery that destroys the African American family.
It's the legacy of the welfare state.
Between 1890 and 1950, the marriage rate was much higher among black women than white women. A fraction of black children lived in homes without their fathers. But everything changed with the expansion of the welfare state. It divided the household and created a dependency on welfare. This kind of reminds me of what President Reagan said.
I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
So, what happened? What's the mechanism? Here is a detailed look at how the welfare state played a role in the dissolving of the family structure over the years. People say that the breakdown of traditional family units.
All right, so y'all see that? So as of 1995, 2/3 of, if I got this right, 2/3 of black households have mother and father in them up to that period. And then shortly thereafter, we start seeing more single families in the black community. Let's rewind that. Let's just make sure I'm getting my facts here straight real quick, because I want to make sure I'm right. Let's try this again. Let's see.
Generations of open racism. American Consensus Institution revealed that 67% of black children under 18 in the U.S. live in homes without fathers. This is a stark contrast to white children, as only 24%.
People and poor people, we just call it something else. When it's for white people and rich, we call it subsidies.
It's no secret, fatherless households are more common in the black community. A survey from the American Consensus Institution revealed that 67% of black children under 18 in the U.S. live in homes without fathers. This is a stark contrast to white children, as only 24% of them live in fatherless homes. But it wasn't always like that. The black families survived generations of open racism, widespread poverty, and slavery. They lived through segregation and violence, and strong family bonds used to be the norm.
As of 1960, 2/3 of all black American children were living with both parents.
Okay, 67, 2/3. 2/3. We had 2/3. We had 2/3 of the families with mother and father in the household back in the day. That's not the case no more. the black community, we used to be more married, more together than other communities back in the past.
That declined over the years until only 1/3 were living with both parents in 1995. So it's not the legacy of slavery that destroys the African American family.
It's the legacy of the welfare state.
Between 1890 and 1950, the marriage rate was much higher among black women than white women. A fraction of black children lived in homes without their fathers. But everything changed with the expansion of the welfare state. It divided the house.
The state became the husband, the provider, instead of the black man. Well, the families used to be so much tighter back in the day.
Household and created a dependency on welfare. This kind of reminds me of what President Reagan said.
I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
So, what happened? What's the mechanism? Here is a detailed look at how the welfare state played a role in the dissolving of the family structure over the years. People say that breakdown of traditional family units, family structures, is a byproduct of black poverty, not just because there is no man to support the family financially, but also because women tend to earn less than men on average. Of course, the connection between the two is there, but it goes deeper than that. Welfare was a mean little business. It was designed to get people by in a pinch. Public assistance programs,
So it's just
like
get
welfare
by in a pinch.
entitlements, have been a part of American culture since the 1940s. Unfortunately, like in many other aspects of government institutions, black Americans were left out. In time, black people could also get financial support, but it wasn't easy. Mothers who applied for checks had to let social workers inspect their homes to
This is
see
where the
if their
breakdown
conditions were
comes.
suitable for welfare. These workers also had to make sure no man was living in the house. But even if they qualified for support, the amount they received was meager and not enough to build a stable life. In the early 19
So there we go. In the 60s, they removed the black man from the household for the woman to get assistance. You know, you couldn't be living in the house. So, you know, like Martin Luther King said, Jr. in the beginning said, men have to leave the families for the family to get bread and meat, which is something serious. You know what I'm saying? Check the messages real quick, y'all. Have you seen this scene from the movie Willie Dynamite? The one about getting organized? I haven't seen that. I'll have to check it out, Rich Free. Appreciate you putting that on my radar. Salute DC Born Rob in the house. Salute my man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Hopefully I can bring all this together, tie this together, and make some kind of sense. Thank you for watching and following through. We're going to get better at this, so just appreciate you tuning in. And if you want to jump in the panel a little bit later, let me know, man. I'll be sending out the link. You know, if anybody's around, want to talk and chop it up. All right, let's see here.
1960s, welfare was not yet common, even in the most impoverished black communities. In the decade that followed, the number of black people on welfare went up by 169%. They further increased by
And also,
30%
I'll
from
leave,
1970 to 1975.
After this is over, I'll leave the links to all the videos that I use in the description. So I'll go back and update that. I meant to do it beforehand, but I just kind of ran out of time, whatnot. So y'all can see the research or whatever videos I use for this.
In 1972, New York City, almost 1 out of every 6 residents was on welfare. A major portion of these households were black. Although black people were only around 1/10 of all Americans, they made up almost 50% of all welfare recipients by the late 70s. A recent UNICEF report showed that many children under 18 in America struggle financially, and African American children are nearly 4 times more likely to be in poverty than white children, though the number of families receiving cash assistance.
All right, 4 times. And, all right, let's see here. So they said, you know, black families of kids are more likely to be 4 times brought up in poverty. I was even going to go further back on how, and maybe I'll touch on a little bit later on how land was taken from us post Civil War era and things like that from the black people and stuff, the laws and things like that. Heroism, I think it's what's called heroism, something. It's some work, man, but it's up to us to take care of us. You know what I'm saying?
Has decreased since 1996. Child poverty rates for black children in the U.S. remain high. This outcome is not by accident. I studied the evolution of social welfare policies in the U.S. from the New Deal to the 1996 reforms and found that these policies have been discriminatory from the start. And a lot of people can confess to that. This led many black families to fall into cultural and economic ruin. In a short period, healthy black people started relying on government assistance to achieve some level of normalcy. But within the city slums, that normalcy was impossible to get. Black children barely knew their fathers, and most were raised by unemployed and unmarried mothers.
Worried about
So you can see the issues that are developing today starting to take place.
AI taking your job? You should be worried about me.
Black man's not in the family.
Stuck in a cycle of poverty
etc.
and modest paychecks. This marked a significant shift in Black American history. The consequences were severe for the next generation. Let's start with the Social Security Act of 1935. It was introduced during Franklin Roosevelt's administration. It was
All right, enough of that, y'all. I'm not going to bore y'all with too much of this history lesson stuff. As you see, with the wave of welfare and stuff, it started to break down the black family. We're not getting married like we used to be. And I think it's starting to kind of go into what we're starting to see today. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of independence, a lot of people, a lot of broken families, should I say. Let's see here. Jaime Ross, salute. Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you very much for coming in and tapping in and leaving a message. And let's continue. Let me add my next, let's see here. My next slide to the presentation here. I'm going to get more efficient at doing this stuff, so y'all just bear with your boy. All right. No, that's not it. Okay, here's another one we got. All right, so we got your boy Dr. Umar. He gonna break down some stuff.
There is no group of blacks, black people in America, although we are only 40 million strong, gross more cash than any independent black nation on the face of the earth. The problem is we use all of our residual and disposable.
You use what?
40 million strong, gross more cash than any independent black nation on the face of the earth. The problem is we use all of our residual and disposable.
Come on, Umar.
Disposable income to have fun.
Right now, do you know we brought in $1.3 trillion last year as a people? Out of 226 nations on the earth, that makes black people in America the 8th richest nation.
Now I need y'all to understand, break it down. We do not have a finance problem. We have a mindset issue, okay? Everything that you just seen is obtainable, but y'all rather go party.
Black spending power reached a record $1.6 trillion in 2021. The ability to buy, save, and invest more than doubling since 2000.
Pause it right there for right now, but that's right. It's being predicted that black America's buying power will grow to more than however many trillion dollars by 2030, up from $910 billion in 2019. According to Fenora.com, black consumers are a critical part of the U.S. economy now and will continue to be in the coming years. With that said, we're going to focus on what black people are spending our money on, why that is, and whether there's anything we need to do about it. Any of it. As you'll see today, there may be opposition to black buying power, and it isn't who you.
So as y'all see, it's not that the black community does not have buying power. We are the 8th most powerful nation. If we were a nation, our buying power, you know what I'm saying, would be the 8th strongest out there in the world. You know what I'm saying, and that's I think that's above Mexico even. So. It's not a problem that we're not making money. It's what are we doing with the money that we are making is the question. at hand.
Think it is, or is it? Let's start with what we spend our money on, supposedly. This graph shows average spending patterns for U.S. households in 3 income categories, one just below the poverty line, one at the middle of the income distribution, and one at the top of the distribution. NPR suggests that a huge chunk of everybody's budget is reserved for housing, for example. Poor, middle class, and rich families spend similar shares of their budgets on clothing and shoes and on food outside the home. But poor families spend a much larger share of their budget on basic necessities such as food at home, utilities, and healthcare. Rich families are able to devote a much bigger chunk of their spending to education and a much bigger share to saving for retirement. Plus, this article from CNN suggests that housing, food, and transportation are some of the biggest financial stressors for each income group, particularly for the poor.
All right, y'all. Y'all see it there. So, just like most other families in groups, as far as housing, foods and stuff, we're pretty much the same. But other things, food and
Additionally, this Market Watch report says the wealthiest families, the top fifth of earners, spend around 65% of their consumption on luxury goods and 35% on necessities, according to this study, which looked at spending habits between 1984 and 2014. Middle-income households weren't far behind. They spend 50% on luxuries and 50% on necessities. Notice that these stats aren't exclusive to a certain race, but those who make up a socioeconomic status. The culture is among class. Even the lowest income family.
So, as he's saying that it's not just a black problem with the spending, it's the social economic. So everybody that's on the lower end are spending in the same vein, but it hurts our community more, I believe.
The bottom fifth of earners spend 40% on luxuries and 60% on necessities, according to an economist for Deutsche Bank Securities. But see, it says that the Deutsche Bank report defined luxuries as goods or services consumed in greater proportions as a person's income increases.
All right, let's see. Jamie says, poor get poor and rich get richer. Yeah, man, that's something that we got to turn around. Instead of doing a destructive behavior that keeps making us get poorer, we need to take some of the examples from other communities and how they build their wealth throughout history and in the modern economy as well. So let's get better, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the comment, Jamie's. And he also says, that's why America will never allow reparations, because if they do, their workhorses will be empowered. That's the thing. America has given reparations to almost every other group besides Africans, the descendants of slaves, reparations. They gave the Japanese reparations for internment camps during World War II. They've given the Indians reparations by giving them reservations and things like that. I believe they even gave the Chinese reparations during when they were building the railroads and stuff back in the day. So we're the only one, besides the Native Americans that were done the dirtiest, in my opinion, we're the main group that has not received any kind of reparations at this point. So, yeah. Appreciate that comment. Keep them coming, Jamies, and everyone else out there.
Like eating McDonald's, and necessities as those goods or services that make up a smaller proportion of spending as a person's income increases, like smoking and lottery ticket buying. We'll go into detail about this later on in the video, but what's considered a luxury? What's considered a necessity? Because what's considered an essential purchase varies depending on a double standard. Anyways, some may be yelling at the screen right now about Jordans and iPhones and Fendi. I got you. So why do poor people and lower class people? Well, this stigma will be stuck to black people. So I'll just say black. seem to have poor spending habits? Well, it's more likely that higher spending by black people is a result of what's called status signaling. It's an economic theory akin to you have to be twice as good just to get half as much. That's from the ancestors. We have to dress the part just to get the part that you already have. Say it Dre from Blackish. If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. Deion Sanders. That's why. Just because you're poor.
Okay, I mean, there might be some truth to that. You know what I'm saying? Like fake it till you make it type situation. But I think in our community as a whole, we got a lot of faking going on, and there ain't a whole lot of making it going on. So there might be some credence to that. That doesn't mean like you look like a bum or you don't take care of yourself or whatnot. We need to take care of ourselves and be presentable, whatnot. But we pay a lot of money just to look sloppy a lot of time. But that's a whole nother story. We're going to get back to this discussion here.
Poor doesn't mean you have to look like poor. We get that until we don't. We as the country treat poor people poorly. Trying to get through something like a job interview while looking like, well, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett seems hard. Kanye may have.
Sorry to keep stopping, y'all. Jaime Ross says, Strill, no more luxuries. Our luxuries are milk, bread, medicine from grandma. For your grandma. Hey, man, it's tough on everybody right now. So that's why, we need to be more frugal out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of showing out for people that trying to put on for people that we don't like, trying to impress folks that we don't even know by status symbols and whatnot, we need to worry more about the fundamentals of our finances and think about, the people that are coming up behind us as well. Unfortunately, a lot of us only think about the here and now. And, I guess it's easy for somebody to say, say that stuff if you're not struggling, paycheck to paycheck or hand to mouth or homeless or whatever. It's like easy for me to say or someone else to say. But in general, I think we need to kind of chill on the conspicuous consumption and think more about the future. All right, let's see here. Hold on one second here. Christopher Weary, appreciate your salute for tuning in, Christopher. Migrants are getting benefits. I think it will be hard for some of the U.S. in the coming years to survive. Some of our people will need to move to some other country, to the countries migrants are from to survive. That's interesting because we see a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the passport bros turn into expats. They move to Colombia. They move to Thailand. They move to some of these other countries where our money goes further. And it's kind of weird how that happens. They come here looking for a better life, jobs, opportunities. And we go there because we can't afford to live here. Interesting dynamic, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Appreciate that comment, Christopher Weary, and keep them coming, man. Thank you so much. All right, let's continue with the essay here.
Have made it fashionable to look poor, but he's still a billionaire who doesn't have to consider his appearance when it comes to going shopping or getting a date. So people splurge on things that others in better circumstances and situations don't deem to be expensive. Spending money they don't have. For an example of this behavior, researchers examined Google search trends across the U.S. and found that people in states with relatively high income inequality were more likely to search for luxury brands than those in other states. Looking for the latest from Ralph Lauren, for instance. These Google searches occur more often in Mississippi than in Iowa, and in New York than Nebraska. Basically, people living amidst greater income inequality are more interested in luxury goods. Side note that I found interesting: the 10 states with the
we worried about Ralph Lauren and Jordans, y'all, instead of stuff that really matters. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let's continue.
The greatest black buying power growth since 2000 are North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho, Wyoming, Vermont, Arizona, Montana, Maine, Utah, and New Hampshire. All have, purportedly, flourishing African American consumer markets, but none is among the nation's top 10 largest black consumer markets, for what that's worth. Cities with more segregation and those with large black populations tend to show weaker upward mobility patterns. Being poor and black is generally not the same as being poor and white. Being poor in Cleveland is not the same as being poor in Charlotte. Again, $1.7 trillion is about the gross domestic product of Mexico, just to put black spending power into perspective.
So black people have the same spending power as the whole country of Mexico. I mean, that's not chump change. That's a whole our neighbors to the border, to the south, you know what I'm saying? We got more buying power than the whole country.
Perspective. Most of the enhanced spending power will be concentrated in predominantly black cities, including Atlanta, Detroit, Houston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., according to McKinsey researchers. We can talk all day about social determinants of health and how merely being born in a certain zip code decreases your chances of escaping poverty even into adulthood. Going from working class to middle class is difficult in and of itself, let alone becoming rich or wealthy from being poor. And how is somebody supposed to move from the lower group to the higher group? Education is key, wrote Peter Timmon in The Vanishing Middle Class, Prejudice and Power in a Dual Economy. Although he points out that this would mean plotting, starting in early childhood, a successful path to and through college, that's a 16-year or longer plan that, as Timmon is being real about, can easily be shut down. Almost 20 years of nearly nothing going wrong.
Yeah, that's tough, you know what I'm saying? 20 years of nothing going wrong. A lot of families, like I said, we're not coming from dual household families these days, so the chance of going 20 years with nothing going wrong, and you can go through college, high school, grade school to college without incident. You know, I was fortunate enough to do it, but not everybody is. So it's a concern for sure.
The Atlantic notes that for minorities especially, this means contending with the racially fraught trends Timmon also identifies in his book, such as mass incarceration and institutional disinvestment in students, for example. Many cities
had to pause it real quick. Obstacles of opportunity. Salute, man. Appreciate you showing up. Let's go, he says. So my man Sean Bird is in the building. Hey, man, let me know if you want to hop on and drop some of your knowledge. I know this is more your wheelhouse than mine. So, but I know it's an important thing to talk about. So I know you out there trying to make sure everybody gets their piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to look out for us. You know what I'm saying? So let me know, man, if you want to hop on, discuss this topic, give another nuance to it. Let me know if I'm off key or not. All right, let me know. All right, hold on. Okay, that's what's up, man. I'm gonna send you the link. Check your WhatsApp real quick. I'm about to send it to you, Playboy. I think I'm gonna send it to you. Hold on now. Let me run the tape. Let me roll the tape real quick here. Give me a second. Hide that. There we go. All right.
Which has a disproportionate percentage of the black and increasingly Latino population lack adequate funding for schools, and decrepit infrastructure and lackluster public transit can make it difficult for residents to get out of their communities to places with better educational or work opportunities. Timmon argues that these impediments exist by design. We can certainly argue everything I've said up until this point if you want, although what needs to be addressed is telling a bunch of poor people that the matter of economic success comes down to buying from black businesses, saving money, investing, and buying a house, etc. Not appropriate. They probably would if they could. If you're going to bring up black folks' $1.7 trillion in spending power, you need to be aware of other opportunity measures and or acknowledge them. So I'm going to unpause the rest of that CNBC clip from earlier because there's something missing from this discussion and discourse that many don't want to admit.
All right, let's go take a break before they start that. Let's see what we got going on here. Got some comments coming in. I appreciate y'all commenting. As you see, there's 4 people tuned in right now, but the replays, people do watch. So having some interaction is major, and I appreciate it, y'all. Jaime Ross says, used to be, you work hard and life rewarded you. But being a DJ on the 80s, 90s, like me and my husband, life was great. Now people bring out the boom boxes like the 70s. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. A lot of things are changing, man. Like, the AI, automation, things like that. People got Bluetooth speakers now. They can wire Spotify to it and rock a party. I get where you're coming from. But ain't like somebody spinning, curating the music, if they can afford it. But, yeah, man, a lot of things are changing, man. It's not just black folks struggling. Everybody's struggling right now. So that's why it's very important that we start having solid financial bases going forward, because if you don't have that base and you're already spending willy-nilly, then when harder times come, you're going to have a hard time surviving, because you don't have a nest egg, you don't have savings, you don't have a retirement fund. Families aren't passing down real estate like other races of people. You know what I'm saying? They're not passing down inheritances and whatnot. So it's harder nowadays for everybody.
Growth exceeding the full U.S. economy, but actually lagging other ethnic groups. Latinos with a 288% increase, Asians with a 388% increase in spending power. However, other groups, they've also seen an increase in their net worth. Black Americans instead have seen their wealth actually fall by 14%. And with the S&P gaining 27% last year, the value of U.S. homes increasing by 31% last year. Many black leaders are asking the black community to really rethink how it spends.
Frank Holland there will go on to say that home ownership, typically the biggest wealth builder, has fallen 3% since the year 2000 in black communities. Black families accumulated $300 billion less than white families and saved $5 billion less. The racial wealth gap is more than $11 trillion.
$11 trillion. Jeez. That's a lot of money, y'all. That's a big gap. That is an unfathomable gap. Wow. Got to do better, y'all.
According to the Washington Post, white families have the highest level of median and mean family wealth, just over $188,000 and $983,000 plus, respectively. Black families' median and mean wealth is less than 15%.
And y'all make sure y'all check this brother out. Go check out his page. Like I said, I'm going to post everything up after everything when it's over, because this is a great essay. He did a lot of work for me, you know what I'm saying? So kudos to him.
That of white families at $24,100 and $142,500. Looking at expenditures, black households spent an average of $639 on footwear in 2019, compared with $400.
OTO, I sent you that link to your to WhatsApp. So I don't know if you changed your number. It's been a while since I hit you on there. So I don't know. Let me know if you got it or not, and we'll continue.
$19 for all households, according to the Labor Department's 2019 Consumer Expenditure Survey. When it came to women's and girls' clothing, black households spent $784, compared with a national average of $704. Quote, "It's a common misconception. Black people would be wealthier if they just didn't spend so much."
Okay, I got you. I'm just going to post it here, man. And, if anybody else shows up, this is just for OTO right now, or if any of the Travel Avengers want to hop on, y'all are welcome. But hold on, y'all. I'm about to drop the link. Also, I need some, eventually get some, since I'm trying to do more live streams, I'm going to need some what do they call people with the wrenches? Whatever they call it, I forgot. That shows you how I don't do this that much. But let me know if anybody's interested to be a curator or whatever that they call it. A moderator, that's it, moderator. Hold on, let me drop this link here. All right. And also, if you like what we're doing here, you know, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Got all my TikToks, my Instagram, all this stuff. It's all Strill Life. And you know, if you want to support, you can hit the Cash App, Super Chat, whatever. I appreciate it. All right, let's go back to the discussion here.
Much on clothes, sneakers, and cars. Like so many other misrepresentations when it comes to black people and how they spend and save, stereotypes supplant substantive analysis. Okay, black Americans spend more money on consumer items like cooking oil, gum, beauty aids, and women's fragrances, according to 2018 data from Nielsen. Experts said today's massive wealth gap between black and white Americans has less to do with what black people have spent their money on and more to do with the ways the federal government has allowed wealth to be siphoned from black neighborhoods.
Will black people ever be able to be self-sufficient or independent? This question is obviously racist, but.
All right, let's pause for a second here. And let's check out some of these comments. All right, Jaime says, my husband joined the military to make ends meet, and wouldn't you know it, he got sent to Iraq Desert Storm. Ain't that a blip? Nope, that's how it is. Yeah. That's a toss-up, because, you know, the military, from my own, what I've seen with my own eyes, and, you know, other people, it's one way that a lot of black folks and people in general are able to gain wealth that don't come for it. Now, the flip side is that you can go to comment and get blown in half, you know what I'm saying, and lose your limbs or get shell shocked and be crazy or whatever. Salute to all the veterans out there. I'm not, you know, trying to minimize the service or whatever, but there's a lot of people that go to the military and they come out, you know what I'm saying, young men, retired, full benefits, and they're living their best life. Obstacles to opportunities, one guy, he's out there in Thailand. I don't think he's even 40 yet, and he's retired doing his damn thing. You got Skylar from One Master Teacher. He's retired too. He's in Brazil living his best life. So military, you know, it's a double-edged sword there. My old man was in the military, and we benefited from him too, but later on in life, he came down with a lot of health issues that cut his life short. So, you know, there's always that too. So, you know, the good with the bad, like anything else. The best financial advice for black men is to just marry a newly divorced woman. Oh, come on, Rich Free. I don't know if that's good advice or not. You know what I'm saying? You still got to deal with her crazy butt. So, I don't know. Let me get a little background music going for y'all while I work this out. Okay. Fit Travel in the building. Salute. Another travel avenger in the house. The whole chat. Appreciate you following through. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the support. Jaime Ross says salute. He's saluting everybody. Okay. Rich Free. Okay. Salutations going around. All good. Okay. Oh, shoot. I got somebody backstage. Got my man OTO in the building. I'm bringing him on right now. What's going on, my man? Can you hear me?
Salute. Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Salute. I hope I did you justice on the military thing. Was I on point or not?
Yeah, you was on point. You talked about both sides of it.
Right. Okay, that's what's up. So you're a young man. You're retired. You doing well. You said you a millionaire. You put this out yourself, so it ain't no new news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
multi.
So yeah, and I don't know if y'all know OTO. He has his own YouTube channel. He's always talking about finances and real estate and things like that. How to make more money and live a more prosperous life. So thank you for coming on the show. Salute, salute. And go ahead. What you got to say, man? I'm gonna let you go ahead and say what you got to say real quick.
No. Shout out to you, man, and the whole channel. Shout out to the whole gang in the chat. As I always say, I used to rock with the same type of mindset when it came down to our situation or predicament when you talk about Black Americans. But which helped a lot was Dr. Amos Wilson. And yeah, I used to read his teachings a lot, the blueprint for Black power and the economic imperative, and I'm slaughtering and I'm paraphrasing the title, but the blueprint for Black power and the economic and political imperative of the 21st century, I believe the title was the book. But it more so talked about what to do. Like the situation as what it is, like this gentleman is explaining. Let me say I agree to that. I don't agree with all of it, but it doesn't matter. It's no reason to go back and forth. I'll submit to all he said in that video. Now, we have a bunch of ways we can go about it. And I think addressing it from, let's say, administrative point, going political route, voting, changing things on laws. We've seen that, right? Martin Luther King, etc. Also, there's a Marcus Garvey route. That's us building our own, and not just own to mean isolated from everyone else. I mean, building our own entities in which we own 100% of. So we could be investors, we can purchase homes. The key to wealth in anywhere in the world is through real estate. Real estate is probably the largest target, and we could do house hacks, we could do multifamily. Now, it sounds unreasonable, but a lot of people don't know there are Black lenders also. So it's not like there's only gatekeepers that are only of a different culture and then will keep you out. There are Black lenders, loan officers, mortgage brokers. And I think a lot of times we just don't have the information as far as it goes. And also, once we get the information, it's hard to move on it because of our mindset. We're told so much that we cannot do it. We're no different than the middle class, no different than women who get told the same narrative and believe they can't do anything that men can do. And you're like, what can't you do? You're looking at them crazy like, what can you do?
In this day and age, I don't think they suffer for that as much as before because they'll let you know. They don't need you. And
as far as the women, right?
Right.
Yeah. But I was just pointing at the behavior and the mindset that they had before, right? Let's say they don't say it as much today. So what I'm saying is most of the time when I'm providing the information, the biggest hurdle for most people is believing that they could do it, even with the information, even with the context, even with the loan officer. They're just like, I can't.
Right.
So it doesn't get done. You can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves. Harriet Tubman told y'all a long time ago, you can't get nobody out of slavery if they don't think they're a slave. So it is what it is.
Okay. All right. So, what action plans would you say for a lot of folks?
No, go ahead.
No, that's it. So, say somebody like, okay, we've seen that there's a divide economically between Blacks, whites, and stuff like that. I know you speak generally a lot of times, but for anybody, for Black folks, anybody, like where would you start for financial literacy or to get themselves together?
Yeah. Great question. And I want to also say this, as much as we focus like on quote unquote whites, a lot of whites are being outperformed by immigrants, freshly new immigrants, which migrated through nationalization and legal immigration. And so Indian Americans or Asian Americans outperform all other categories of all people in the general population.
Yes,
as far as income.
Yes.
And also as wealth.
I think this guy touches on that on one of these essays I got. They bring that up.
And so that's good. So he at least acknowledges that part. And so what I'm saying is for most people, I always go real estate route because I know more than most people know about real estate. Like I said, I used to be working for an investment firm. We scaled the company from 0 to 100 million. I own equity in the deals. I own equity and ownership on a 300,000 property in Miami, which is worth like 75 million now after we added value of that property.
Man.
So And that's industrial. That's like high skill, high grade commercial level of real estate. I was signing off like 100 million letters of intent to buy property on a daily basis. And I never did any of it. And guess who else? And my partners were Israeli.
Okay.
So
Okay.
net at the end of the day, you could do anything you want in this world. But net, what I was going to get at is real estate is the route that I tell to most people, because opening a business and doing stocks, that's all good. But the failure rate is extremely high for businesses. And it's a complex thing you're dealing with. You don't even know if most people want your service or your product, right? It's
Right.
hard to get financing for said business. But
True.
real estate, it's way easier to get financing.
True.
And the reason, go ahead.
I was going to say
Historically, yeah, go
historically,
ahead.
that's how families in the past built wealth and were able to pass it down to lower generations.
To
When Big
lower
Mama
generations.
passed away, the house, you know what I'm saying, would be
And there's
passed
been a
on.
lot of mismanagement of that passed down generational wealth on
That is true
all
too.
families and all groups, like massively. Like wealth
Mhm.
has been squandered or has been redistributed to other families because one family lacks the information
Have you heard of
or the intention.
I think it's called hairism or something like heirism or something like that, where
Mhm.
say, okay, grandma passes away, she has 7 kids, and all those kids, they have kids, and they eventually over time, say there might be 30 descendants of a property in Alabama, Mississippi, or something like that. Well, somebody can come in and start buying off pieces of that from family members. Once they get
Mhm.
10, 20, 30% of the property. And a lot of these people, they might have moved out of the country. They don't even live there. They don't even they might not even know that they have this property. And there's like somebody's like, hey, you want to sell? Oh, I didn't even know I had that. Yeah, cut me a check. So after a while, they gain so much of the property that they can force a sale of the rest of the property. And only thing they need to do is
Mhm.
put like a notice in the newspaper, and the next thing you know, the sheriff showing up on your doorstep, taking your property because you didn't know your property is up for sale, and you've been paying the taxes all this time or whatever. So I mean, this is one of the things they use to steal our wealth post Civil War.
And so post Civil War, and everybody had to deal with like economic warfare. I think that's something that everybody deals with, even within groups. They fight amongst each other, stealing land from each
For
other
sure.
because of whatever particular reasons. I mean, even when we were cold calling and looking for deals, one of the major factors of a distressed property goes to divorce, death, and dislocation. These factors, if a owner has them, then it's more probable that he'll sell the property. So we look for those when we're actually searching for deals, right?
Right.
An
Yeah,
advantage in the real
you're
estate
right. That
game.
does happen to this day. There's distressed properties out there, and people in bad shape. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, sometimes you can be the savior. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Yeah.
this won't go on your credit or whatever. We'll give you a little bit of money, and you can,
Or the
go on about
vulture.
your, yeah.
It depends on the perspective of that investor that's attempting to acquire the property. But I say
Right.
real estate mainly because people don't understand the reasoning behind why real estate's the easier route. They just be like, well, it doesn't make quite much sense to me.
Mm.
It's when I lend you money, let's say if I gave you 100K, right?
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
whatever, one for business, right? One for trading stocks on the market, and one
Mm-hmm.
for buying the real estate. Let's say you squander the money in the stock market. I'm out. I can't recoup my money. How can I get it back, right? Especially if your value of your stock portfolio went down. But let's say I gave you money for a business, and then the business, more than likely, per the numbers, failed. Now I'm going to have to confiscate and foreclose your business, but you probably don't own your property. You probably was leasing a space out, a
Mm-hmm.
retail or
Mm-hmm.
industrial space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you have products that what I'm going to do, collect a bunch of products and then resell it on the market in order to recoup my funds. It's just a slow process that I'm not going to get my return on my money back. Probably, I'm going to lose a lot. But for
Okay.
real estate, if I gave you 100,000, then I would put a lien against the property. The property is not
Mm.
going nowhere; it's immovable.
Right.
So you can't be like your car. When I come to repo your car, you just park it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I got to catch you slipping in order to
Right.
get the advantage and take your car from you.
True.
But with the real estate, it stays in the same location. and it's considered to be sold easier than anything else that I talked about previously. It's easier to sell a home than a business or even a used car and etc. Especially, you lose your value once you drive off the lot or whatever could happen to the car. And so net lenders feel more comfortable. People who lend money out at an interest feel more comfortable with real estate. And so that's why it's easy for everyone to do it. And especially if you're talking about an individual who has lower income, like let's say a black community or whatever community complains about or vocalizes, right? If you do a house hack and you buy a duplex or a triplex or a quad, this is when you not only use your earned income, but you're also using the income from the rental property to allow you to buy more value for your home or have a lower debt to income ratio. So it's not only your money that's underwriting the property where you work at. Okay, you work at 7-Eleven. That's not a great job. But you're like, oh, well, I'm buying a triplex and I have 2 other leases that are paying me $1,000 a month. He's like, oh, okay, that helps. So let me use that as a underwriter for qualifying you for this property. And so that's why I say real estate, real estate, real estate. You can do it on the flip phone. You could look for a property sitting on the toilet from Zillow. It's as easy as it's ever been to do it today in today's age with prop tech. The technology.
I think that the house hacking is even better than just buying a single family, like you said. You know what I'm saying? That because
extremely better.
Right.
But most people's image in their head is it's a duplex or a triplex or a quadplex. So they're like, I don't want to live in an apartment. I want to live in a single family house or something. Well, little they know, a triplex or quadplex doesn't have to be in the same building structure. It could be 4 single family homes on one parcel of land, and that's considered a quadplex. And so net is really just a unit of apartments, and they have to stay on the same parcel. If they're on the same parcel, then it's considered whatever the number of units it is. So net, people get confused from that. And then also people just don't understand that. And this is why I say, regardless if you own a business, stocks, or work for an income, at the end of the day, you have to live somewhere. So that's why we address the real estate, because regardless, if you're like, well, I got a stock portfolio, I'm trading crypto. Okay, well, where you live, you still pay rent or a mortgage. And instead of paying rent or paying your mortgage, how about you house hack and then acquire rental income at the same time?
Yeah. I think that'll probably be one of my next moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paying for my house now. I'm close to paying it off, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not making me money while I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about like that'll probably be our next move. Get a quad, something, duplex quad, something like that. Move into one side, like you said, house hack. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll rent out my house that I got now, renovate it, rent it out, and that will, I think, doing something like that will allow me to be able to travel more, indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? And because if you, like you said, you do the house hack right, someone else is gonna be paying for your your living space. You know what I'm saying? Or a majority of it. And this day and age, it's hard as hell to live for free. Rarely happens. So that's a
I get it.
Way to go about it. You still in Thailand right now?
Yeah. I'm still kicking it, still in Thailand. I actually had a job offer just recently.
I saw
it's pretty
you did
big.
live on that. I didn't get to.
It was a
watch
pretty
it
big
all.
thing.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, didn't cut you off.
No, it was just it was a great job after. Actually, it was going to pay me ducats, but I make more money just in passive invested, and it's the best tax bracket in comparison to earned income. Once I put in the calculator and saw what it looked like from California to get taxed, I was like, well, I'll defer that, because I would have to create more strategies in order to reduce those tax deductions, which I could do, but it just creates more energy, time, and attention that I don't have to spend being a passive investor in Thailand with low expenses. So it just didn't make sense when it came to not only money, but time, energy, and attention.
Right. So yeah, that you live in a lifestyle that a lot of us strive to do. So y'all make sure y'all follow OTO. He gives up the goods and whatnot. I got another video here. Let me cancel.
Yeah, go ahead.
And let's see here. Let me stop. You know me, I'm still ain't all that good, proficient at switching screens and all, doing all that stuff. But we're gonna get better, right? We're getting better.
No, it's good. Hey, while you get that in order, I wanted to say something. I know one guy says somebody sounds like Big Cap, and people be uncomfortable to read stuff like that. But what I would say is it makes Jay Mees.
What did it say? Dude said he's this one right here.
Well, no, there was something up there, but
okay. Your guest sounds like Big Cap, one of the guys that act rich on YouTube to trick suckers out of their money.
I know money.
That's how it comes.
Yeah. That and then I wanted to just say, like, that happens a lot, so I get it.
It does happen.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking that does happen. So I mean,
it makes sense why people think like that and have those perspectives, but you would only be able to examine that by looking at my portfolio, right? You wouldn't be able to examine that for anything I say. You can go to my LinkedIn profile and see my partners and see the companies they run. It's very out there. It's public information. But net,
you're not selling any courses or anything right now, are you?
No, I don't sell courses. I don't sell anything. Actually, I talk too much trash. Like, people don't want to rock with me because I be talking trash. I'm not like a guy who get a lot of subscriptions and subscribers. No.
There's not like you got a link to go here to learn more like that. That incentive.
I have a Patreon. That's about it.
Out there. So
no, exactly. I tell people on my channel all day, don't spend no money on Super Chat or anything. Spend it on yourself and invest in a fractional reserve on Robinhood or Cash App for some stocks or Apple.
Hey, man, they can send me a Cash App if they feel so inclined.
No. But I'm just saying me. I'm saying me.
That's you.
But no, I get it.
Hey, I'm not a millionaire yet. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I would say the same thing. There's no wrong with building a good, legitimate business out of this YouTube and having your digital real estate. Like, it's necessary. Talking about that, put up the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's about.
For real.
But
actually, your boy's doing okay, man. I ain't gonna put all my finances out there. It's like I'm not to the point where I can stop working. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I got it's not a big gap there where I can do what I want to do full time. Kind of like what you're doing. You're still making money, doing investments and stuff like that. But I haven't quite gotten there yet. It's something that I'm working on towards.
Yeah.
And I want my viewers to be, and our people in general, and just all people. You know what I'm saying? I just say this because as Black folks, we are socio-economically down the bottom of totem poles and stuff. And it's
all you got to do is get right, man. It's the perfect time to get right. Is just listen to the information instead of watching foosball. Instead of watching foosball, instead of watching basketball, you need to put down the football and the basketball and start picking up some financial literacy books. That's it. It's a real reality nobody want to hear. They want to blame some other group, and at the end of the day, everybody's out here competing against everybody. So it's either you lose or you win. I don't know what time in history ever that people never competed with each other. I don't know no history of that. Y'all might have to bring me up about the, what's it called, utopian tribe of the Amazon jungle. But everybody competes against everybody. So
yeah, it's true. But some groups will bring teams together. They'll have masterminds. They'll have investors. They'll have different things. I see you backstage, Buck. Give me a second. I'm gonna bring you up in a minute. Buck gonna come on talking some noise.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. But I think, like, as a people, we don't come together as far as businesses as other groups do. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of like, you look at some Asian families, they'll have 2 or 3 generations in the house living together. And my next door neighbor, for instance, they were living there all piled up or whatever. They moved out. They renting the house out now. They got another house. Who knows how many houses they got in reality, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, I'm over here, or anyone else might be living so like, God dang, there's a whole bunch of folks over there, you know what I'm saying? You laughing like, damn, you poor so-and-so. They got a plan. They got, 3-4 generations pulling their money together to buy more stuff, you know what I'm saying? And while we're
looking at the good Asians, though.
Yeah.
You're looking at the quote unquote good Asians who are making good moves. When I'm talking about like Asians, period, since we're talking about that group, I'm seeing the ones that don't do that. I'm seeing the ones who are cursed by generational legacies where their family is like, send us money while we chill at the village. You go make money
Now,
in
you talking about
America. We're
Thailand
going
or
to chill
just
in
in
the village.
general?
Across the board. I've been all
Okay.
over, not just in Thailand.
Okay.
Asia has a big problem with that, where the previous generations will stifle the next generation of doing better for themselves economically because the parents are retired living off the pension of the money they're making in the metropolitans. So they're like, yo, we're chilling in the village. You go to work in the city and you send us half of your paycheck. And then they're just spending it and living off it. It's not like they're building up an empire or anything. Now they're just living off their kids. And then so the Asian kids are dealing with that.
I hear a lot of that happens like in Philippines, like people hook up and then next thing you know, they're supporting the whole family and they all moving
whole
in. Like,
family.
Yeah, you know,
and then
like,
they'll say,
you start off with just you and your girl, and then they move the whole people into the compound, and next thing you know, they moving you out.
And then exactly, especially that part. But then I tell the dudes, I'll be like, well, Thai people or just even any Asian people, I told them before, they're like, well, you don't understand it. It's a Thai thing, right? And so what I asked them this question to follow up. I said, okay, you said it's a Thai thing for you to give the money back to your family. And then it was this one girl, she went to Bangkok University. That's like more elite Thai citizens go there.
Okay.
So I said, let me ask you, your rich friends, do they give their parents money?
Right. Okay.
And she said, no, of course not. I said, then it's not a Thai thing. It's an economic thing. But she thinks it's an Asian, she thinks it's an Asian thing. And that's just what they regurgitate. But once you challenge it, like, well, do the rich Thais do that? And they're like, no, of course not. They get money from their parents. Exactly. So it's economic. Yeah. They're Thai too, right? They're part of the culture. They just have their economics squared away. So that's why that waterfall happens like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Razor Ray said, hit the like button. And if you don't hit the like button, I'm sending Razor Rays over there to crack your jaw. So y'all better do it. Rich Free Dang, it's been a minute. You're killing the stock market. Rich Free, you got money, player? Holla at us. Let us know what's up. Jamie says you went back to the StreamYard. The only reason I came back to StreamYard was because I couldn't bring DC Born Rob and OTO wanted to come up on my last conversation. So I went ahead and went back to StreamYard, and it looks good. I'm like, it's only 720, but hey, I think it looks pretty good, so I ain't gonna trip. You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm kind of like a tech reviewer too, so I'm always gonna try out new things regardless. You know what I'm saying? To see how they work. And I didn't like that aspect of it. Everything else was cool about that. What was it called? Evu Mus. But, StreamYard's tried and true, so I had to come back. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Rich, you've been on the lab for a while. Okay, we already got that. You out here selling courses for $99.99. Rich Free, I'm long-term investor now. I lost too much money. Hey, I feel you on that. You can't be playing that short game. You're going to lose. That's smart money. Trade more risky. Trading is more risky. You should go live tonight after the drill. I'll pull up. Hey, I'll pull up too. People are too lazy to flip real estate. What you say to that, OTO?
Yeah, that's
my bad, Buck. Buck disappeared on here. I'll add you later on if you come back up.
Yeah. Shout outs to Buck. Bring him up. But no, what I was going to say is for flipping, yes. But also, I got into I found out what flipping's about. But it's almost like flipping is almost like the black man selling nickel bags when they get into real estate. You laughing? Okay. I'm serious, bro. When you get into real estate, I
can see that. That's why I'm laughing. I get the
because they get caught and glamorized by the cash that you get from the deal in the form of so let's say you buy a house, you buy it at $100, right? And then you're like, oh man, I bought a house and I'm about to fix it up for $50,000. So now you're in it, 150. Then you're like, I'm finna sell it for, let's say, 250. So that's 100,000, right? So you elated, like, oh man, I'm really making moves now. And so you flip it. But when you lack, I guess you could say, the understanding about investing, while it was if you sell it, you trigger a sales capital gains, right? So short-term gain if it was under, so taxes for that. Then you have to pay commission for the realtors, usually 6 to 8%, depending on how deals are negotiated. So you lose all this money by paying taxes and sales commissions and etc. But if you committed a BRRRR, which was buy, rehab, rent, and refinance and repeat, right? Then you maintain the asset, build the collateral, pay down the equity, still have tax deductions, and still get the cash out that you put in and an additional of the value created.
Right. Also, over time, the appraisal goes up.
That's market appreciation. Property appreciates. But what people worry about is property appreciation, just like market appreciation. And then you have cash flow with stocks, you have dividends, and then you have tax pay down or tax deduction, excuse me. So you have those deductions that you have. And then you have debt pay down. You borrow a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then somebody else pays that off in the long term, those renters, etc.
Right.
So net, that's wealth being built for you also. And especially those people who locked in the interest rate low during the pandemic times at 2%, now the market's at like 7%. So look at them. They borrowed money for 2% and they're fixed for 30 years like that, while everybody else is dealing with 7, 6 and getting charged more money from the banks. They're just flying under the radar with basically little to no interest on the $1 million they borrowed from the bank. And so that's a big difference. That's a big win for those people.
That brings up a good point because in commercial real estate, the loans are usually like 5 to 10 years, right? So you got a lot of people that did commercial deals that finance around maybe 5-6%, and now they're gonna have to refinance coming up soon. The rate for houses are like 7%, so on a commercial loan you're probably paying 8, 9, 10%, to refinance, and they're going back to these banks and they're looking at the financials. They're like, hey, this is going to increase your payment exponentially, and you're not going to have enough money to cover, all your expenses.
Yeah, the new rate.
With the new rate, so they're like,
the new debt service.
Exactly. So they won't refinance because it doesn't make sense anymore, and a lot of these people are going to be caught. The bag.
Yeah, they're going to get smacked real bad.
Right. And
but so that's what happens.
The market's not only the housing market, but commercial real estate.
Commercial specifically, it's gonna have some volatility with those rates coming up due, but the opportunity for somebody else, because the banks don't like to hold that stuff. If they have to foreclose or do anything, the banks will be selling it for almost 70, 60 cents on the dollar because they just want it off the books. And plus, those guys already paid 30%, 40% down payment already. So if the bank recoup 70 from somebody else, they winning.
Exactly.
Even on the loss.
Exactly. So a lot of people are sitting around, they're cash rich right now. They're just rubbing their hands, waiting. I hear like Blackstone, a lot of them are having issues because they bought up all this property and they're
doing all right. What's happening with them is just like a lot of people were having personal problems with their own portfolio because of what you just said. They leveraged too much money. Cash was cheap. They just bought up a bunch of deals. And as things are being brought back, they went back to Blackstone and said, hey, let me get my money back out of this syndication. And Blackstone was like, yo, you read the articles of organization, like how you redeem your money. We can't give everybody their money back. This is not how this works. Your money's locked in for 10, 20 years, whatever you agreed to underneath those agreements. And so when that happened, the news covered that and was like, oh, everybody wants money from Blackstone. That was because individual investors who invested in said Blackstone, they needed their money back because of what was going on in their own portfolios. They had to redirect stuff and sell stuff off. And so if you had money locked up, you're like, yo, let me get my 100,000 I gave to you. And you're like, bro, read the contract. You said the 100,000 was here for the next, 10 years. I can't give it back to you.
Exactly.
So that was a big problem.
And it's not only Blackstone that got caught holding the bag. I heard like Zillow, they got into the housing stuff. They were buying up stuff.
Yeah, they was trying to flip though. They was wilding.
Yeah, and when those interest rates went up, it just kind of like it monkey wrenched a lot of people. People aren't buying houses now because of inflation. And not only are the houses inflating, their interest rates are high. So people are like, well, we're just gonna wait it out. So they're caught with all this inventory and trying to figure out what to do with
Yeah,
it.
but they're trying to say that ain't the inventory.
All right, we got Jamie talking crazy again to you. Dude said he's worth $75
that's
million,
cool.
right? But now bragging about turning down a job. If it was worth $75 million, wouldn't nobody in a position to offer me a job? I think he was saying that it was a deal. It was a whole bunch of people. It's not just him. It was a conglomerate that
Listen skills, bro.
that went in on this, Jamie. It wasn't all him. But if you care to elaborate, that's your
No, you just said it perfectly. In a real estate syndication, it's a bunch of ultra high net worth individuals, and institutional money that come together to buy a property that's worth $75 million. Rich people, as much as normal people or middle class people think they come together and they just buy it all themselves. That's not true. That's not how it works. We have business partners. We have joint ventures. That's how people at a different bracket get things done. We work with each other more so than y'all just work as individuals and worry about your household only. We work together as a collaborate group.
And like you mentioned before, there's a lot of paperwork involved. Like, you didn't read the paper. You can't get your little $100,000 out because you're in a pinch right now.
Because you in a bind. I'm in a bind, Nate. You try to call them out.
Everybody in the bind. Rich Free said Jamie's being messy. Hey, but OTO, he's if you don't believe,
I'm a Marine. It's cooler than that, man. People say worse things in my life. I'm good.
Yeah. It's rolling off. All right, let's go on to the next video here. It's called "Closing the Wealth Gap," starting with retirement savings. And let's see if I can bring it up. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna be able to do all this eventually without pretty seamlessly. Y'all just wait and see. Let's see here. All right, let's share it.
I was floored when I read the difference in terms of investing habits between blacks and other races.
Yes, there is the gap with the investment gap with African Americans. I am thrilled that it's gotten better over the years. There's still some work to go.
I mean, when you read some of the stats, Sharon, 57% invested in the income range of $50,000 to $100,000 compared to 81%. I mean,
it's a big factor when you look at the wealth gap overall. When you look at the wealth gap between African Americans and whites, the average white family has about 7 times the wealth of a black family. A lot of that is due to investments, retirement savings, stock market investments, but also home ownership, and also, of course, the earnings gap. So one of the key ways, and Lizetta points it out so well in her story, is closing the gap, is to really focus on what you can control, and that is investing in yourself and investing for yourself by investing in the stock market.
And of course, for anybody, Lizetta, I don't care what color you are, it's very daunting to start off and
thoughts.
Yo, the lady speaking facts. Like I said, it's all up to you. She said, worry about yourself and what you're doing. Yo, let that woman rip, bro. Because if I say it, ninjas don't want to hear it. Let's let her say it.
All right, let's continue.
Investing in the stock market. So what do you tell some of your clients who are just getting started?
Well, we want to anchor in the idea that retirement accounts are very much in the market. So that gives some familiarity to everyday households. Also want them to be empowered to know that they can also invest in the stock market as well with basic apps just to get a taste of maybe stock ownership. Now we have to be careful because if you're just stock picking, you're not getting diversification, and that's another whole story. But what we're trying to balance is saying, yes, retirement accounts is where a lot of the exposure to the markets are. Mm-hmm. And then we're also thinking about, small investments in stocks as well as a way to expand your portfolio.
What are some of the biggest hurdles you face, Lizetta?
Let me pause because, fair use and everything. Next thing you know, they'll be trying to shut me down. Any input on what she just said?
Man, she cooking with grease. I mean, everything she's saying is spot on, especially about retirements. That's something that you could be well brought up to speed on, right? Like, does your company match? Do they not? 401k, that's simple. Boom, you got that. Then when she says on the back end, real estate is the largest contributor. Okay, single family home. You don't want a house hack, whatever. Okay, cool. Get into that. Once you start doing that, all the money is there available. I'm going to say this real quick before we hop back into the video. I give you an example because the narrative is always in favor of the middle class. So you feel like a victim. I mean, I'm telling you, they give you victimhood mindset too. What I'm saying is, if I was making so much money, like the job offer that I had, right? It paid me too much money. So when I went to California and looked for down payment assistance, I couldn't get any. I made too much money.
Oh, wow.
Right? But if I made 50,000, 30,000, there was over $100,000 available on down payment programs and grants for those people with lower to middle income. But because I had a higher income, I don't get the access to those programs and benefits and tax deductions just because I made a high income. So we only see, oh, the rich has this and that and that, where we don't see where we have opportunities that are slighted in our favor. So as she was saying, it's important to focus on your home and your retirement plan. Boom. Now we can talk about the income and fight for that, but she said it's important to look at yourself and get it done.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, let's read some of these comments real quick so we keep the people involved. Rich Free speaking his mind, man. Rich Free, I speak my mind, man. Oh yeah, no beefing in the chat, man. We appreciate the input, Jamie. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it respectable. That's all I ask. Fit Travel says, Rich Free travel vlogs is on pause right now, changing my channel to lifestyle transformation and building financial wealth. Hey, you want to come on, Fit? Let me know. I'll slap the link on if you want to join in the conversation. It's important, man. It's important that we get financially savvy and not left behind. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like OTO says, we all we got. So
facts.
You know, so we gotta look out and we gotta grow together and learn. Let's see here. This real estate 101, nothing new to this brother is saying. This is real estate 101. Well, you know, Jamie, a lot of people don't, you know, this is new. It may not be new to you, but it's new to a lot of other people, you know what I'm saying? So, and it gives, you know, food for thought. A lot of times we have intentions to do things and we don't do them, or we put it on the back burner and we forget about it. So this might be somebody's reminder, like, yeah, I need to look into getting that property and out this high-ass rent apartment. Maybe not right now at this moment in time, because I wouldn't advise buying a house right now. But it's coming
off
soon.
The market, though. Off the market.
Well,
I said off the market.
Yeah. If you can find,
if you exactly, because there's always room. There's going to be some go-getter that's like, if they're willing to do the extra time, energy, and attention, then they could find it. And you got to just stay one-on-one. If you're talking to the general populace, I can't come out here and our conversations are like this in boardrooms with, let's say, people who are in charge of pension funds, institutional money. I'm talking about 4.5 billion pension funds. Like, that's how much money they manage. We don't talk to them that complex because they manage portfolios of people's pension. They're not familiar with industrial property. They're not familiar with the specifications of a specific asset. So when people used to always ask me, they'd be like, why do you talk to us when you all the way up there, supposedly, or you were up there? And it's like, because I talk to people in those rooms the same way. When I talk to institutional money, when I talk to people in China, or talking about people in Thailand of pension funds and trying to invest money in the industrial small bay in Florida, they don't understand that. So you have to talk to them in a one-on-one way so they can translate it and say, okay, I know what a return is.
Right. Yeah. Was it ROI?
Yep.
Brian Ing, salute to you, man. Brian Ing said, what's up, folks? Appreciate you checking in. My boy Brian Ing of the OMG, the Ottawa Mukbang Gang. My man's taking a hiatus right now in the videos, but he's about to be back at it sooner or later once he gets his energy back up. So y'all be looking out for my man Brian. He got some good food content and break dancing and some other stuff. Check him out. Jamie says, I got a paid off house in California. I made very comfortable living. I could hang it up and retire now and live off my dividends. I do not have a YouTube channel with my Cash App. Hey, I don't have no Patreon, but I got my Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jamie's. Hey, you know what I'm saying. I'm not really making a lot of money off of YouTube right now, and I'll let you know that it's something I just enjoy doing. But I would love to be making more money off of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't no shit in my game. Um, I ain't trying to be on here begging for cash apps or whatever. I'm trying to bring y'all value, bring people value, the community value. So if you feel so inclined to donate, then cool. You know what I'm saying? I like to have fun on my channel. I like to shoot the shit. You know what I'm saying? But every now and then, it can't always just be about jokes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So hopefully, people get something out of this conversation. Fit Travel says we need Trump back in office so the black folks can get more opportunities. Uh-oh, you opened a can of worms there, Fit. Anything on that? OTO?
Nah, man. I mean, if that's what somebody thinks, then word is born. I'll take their lunch. So at the end of the day, everybody's competition being can get this work. I don't need Biden nor Trump to do me no favors. They're not finna stop me. Like you must be out your cotton picking mind to be thinking I gotta sit around and wait for some King Trump or some King Biden to come back in and like they some titans that's gonna wave a magic wand and put me on. Like I'm putting myself on at the end of the day. So I don't ask the marketplace to be better. I become betterly skilled in any marketplace. That's the difference.
Man, cooking. That's it. I think that's the kind of the mindset that we all need to have. I remember I used to watch a lot of Napoleon Hill. Not Napoleon Hill. I'm sorry. I watched him too, but it was Jim Rome. So he's in a room full of people, and they're asking him like, what are the '90s going to be like? This is back in the day, of course. And he's like, yeah, I do know the right people. I'm in the room with a whole bunch of important folks, and I can tell you that it's pretty much going to be the same. It don't matter if the Democrats are in office, the Republicans in office, it's all gonna be the same. You gotta do what you gotta do to make your life better, no matter what the policies are. And that's that. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Is pimping still an option for brothers trying to get rich? Hey, rich free, baby, it is for some people. That's not the route I plan to go. What you think, OTO?
Heck no. Be trying to get jammed up like the rest of these guys who be messing with women like that.
Trafficking and stuff, human trafficking.
Hey, you want to get jammed up, then go ahead. I don't even send money for shorties to come in and out of state. You got me crazy. That's called.
That is true. People getting caught up doing that. Just you get flying people out.
Yep, you fly somebody out, then they come back like, yo, Strill, he flew me out and I ain't had the money to fly back. Now he trapped. Like, nope.
Yep. I think I'm in a bad mood, man. Don't want to be negative over here. Catch up with you. Hey, James, it's all good, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're having a civil conversation here. We all go through it. So, I'd like to have you hang around, you know what I'm saying? But if not, I hope you feel better, brother. And come on back, man. It's all good. It's all to the good. Jamie's laughing. Okay, let's see here. Kyle Moss asks, how much is dude worth? If he wants to answer that, cool. If not, I understand.
Credited investor. That's all y'all need to know.
Credited
and plus,
investor.
I showed it on my channel before. So that was like my portfolio a couple of years ago.
Okay, so let them know what you got to do to be a credited investor. For those that don't know, you got to have a certain amount of resources,
net worth,
cash on hand.
Yeah, so you got to have net worth. There's 2 markers, but there's a bunch of other markers, but just the 2 main ones, because Series 7s and licenses don't apply to a lot of people. That means just being like in the financial sector by trade, by profession. That's how you can be solidified as a accredited investor. But net, let's just go to the more common one. The more common one is just to have 2 million or 1 million, in net worth, and that's not your primary residence. So if you're like, I got a primary residence worth $1 million, free and clear, you're wrong. That's not it. Gotcha. And then the other marker is to make 200,000 for 2 consecutive years, and then with the projection of next year being the same. And then if you're a couple, meaning you have a wife or partner, whatever way, then it's 300,000. and it's the same basis, 2 consecutive tax years, and then the projection for the next year to be the same. And then you're
and,
accredited investor.
Okay, and being a accredited investor, that opens you up to do syndication deals and things like that.
Yeah, it allows you to invest in syndication. When it comes to like real estate, you can do syndicated deals, right? And then also when it comes to, you know how the stock market, most people say invest in the stock market. You guys can invest in the public stock market, like publicly traded on the NASDAQ and etc. But you can't participate in buying private companies. So accredited investor can buy private companies like SpaceX.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I've been
All
in
right.
conversations on equities in etc. I can purchase SpaceX, Neuralink. Those are private companies though. So the public doesn't have access to those.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Big shout out to the chat and everybody watching. We got 10 people. We're in double digits, baby, blowing up the spot. we blowing up and growing here. So, hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in, checking it out, and I'm give me a second here. Trying to do something here. Trying to be like OTO here.
That lady was spitting hot fire though, man. That financial lady.
You're gonna be. I'm going to get the sound effects on. Shout out to this chat and everybody that's tuned in. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see here. We got my boy Norman in the house. Salute to you, Norman. Appreciate you pulling up, brother, man. Thank you for following through. Let me see. Rich Free says, Fit, I'm looking forward to the new transformation. That's what's up. We all are, man. We all are. We all trying to get better. No doubt, fam. Let's see. Just up to obstacles. I'll try to hit them later. That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all make sure y'all do. All right, we got salutations and whatnot. All right, let's go on back to this lady over here and see what she's talking about. Since she was cooking with grease, we're going to let her keep cooking because I like what she's cooking. Let's see here.
She was cooking with vibranium. She was Wakandan.
That's what's up. Let's keep it rolling then.
When you start working with people?
Fundamentally, just understanding basic concepts of stocks, bonds, cash, and other asset classes like real estate and commodities. So I'm giving them the baseline saying, if you know about, business ownership, that equates to stock ownership. If you know about lending, being a borrower and a lender, that's bonds. Just keeping it very simple and then building upon what they are familiar with. Mortgages are loans. They are the borrower, but in the case of other bonds, they can be the lender, which is a concept that they can easily resonate with as well as with stocks too.
But when it comes to investing though, Lizette, and I think you'd agree, a lot of people need to start with what they know and they have access to right now. And for many people, that is an employer-sponsored retirement savings plan, but for African Americans more so than whites, that's not the case. They don't have access to a 401k. So they're investing on their own in the stock market through a 401k or in many cases through an IRA, and they have to be encouraged to do that, to increase contributions, to not get emotional when the stock market is at its highs or at its lows, and to continue investing because that's also a long-term investment option, not something for emergency savings. And taking that money out for a hardship, taking that money out because you switch jobs, that's something that as African American community, we do that more than the white community, and that is also going to keep us lagging in terms of wealth.
Comments?
Man, these lady, what'd she say? Real estate 101. Didn't she just say that? Keep it simple. And so that's why I say the conversation is not about wage stagnation. It's about asset stagnation. Like people are stagnant on assets. They're caught up in wages, which makes sense. But net, that's not a creator towards wealth building. There's people, 50% of six-figure earners are living check to check.
True.
We're worried about the income so much when we're not focused on asset building. And so that's why she said, just keep it simple. Simple is real estate, stocks, bonds, cash reserves, boom, that's it. I don't want to talk about anything. I don't need to make it complex. And she's spot on with that.
What you just mentioned was what do they call it? They call it lifestyle creep, I believe. when people make more money, they just spend more money. You know what I'm saying? It's not like,
Exactly.
okay, I'm making 20,000 more. That means I'm gonna put 20,000 more in savings or into my retirement or whatever. No, they go out and buy that new car or they upgrade, the lifestyle, and they gotta let everybody know that, hey,
they balling. They just got that promotion.
Exactly. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, so the long-term play. We understand the long-term play with home ownership. We need to understand the long-term play when it comes to investments in the stock market. And those are separate buckets from what you're saying, that cushion account, right? So when you have money in your savings, you can tap it, and it is not subject to market ups and downs. That's why the long play is so important to be understood when it comes to investing. You need 5 years, 10 years, and even longer as we're thinking about letting that money grow.
All right. I think that was a pretty good little clip right there.
Yo, she lit it up. Like that's the conversations we need to be having. But right. I'm sorry, no disrespect. I'm not even sorry, actually. When I come back around the blacks and their YouTubian channel, they're just arguing about what somebody else got, how they slided, and how the world's against them, instead of having a lady like this just lay out the map, the game plan, the battle plan. This is what we do if we want to get right. And I'm like, damn, a gap. I'm trying to go past people. I'm past other people of other groups. I wasn't trying to catch up. That's a waste man thing, yeah? Like, I'm trying to go past. I ain't trying to close no gap. Like, for what? I'm going to work hard just to close the gap? Like, no, I'm surpassing them because they're not even the top. You trying to catch up with the white majority. And like I told you, Asian Americans are blasting them. So I'm trying to go to the tippy top. So bump all that. True. I'm not shooting that goal.
But at the same time, you're reaching back, you know what I'm saying? And, that's kind of like the discussion today, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to, but crabs in the bucket. Like,
hey, who said that earlier in the conversation? Rich Free. He crabs in the bucket right there. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. But everybody got him. So I get it. I get it. I understand the mentality. I was like that too. And if somebody would have said that to me when I was where I was back then, I probably would have said the same thing to them.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. If you don't see it or you don't believe it or you haven't been exposed to certain things, then it all sounds like cap.
And even being exposed to it, generation wealth doesn't pan out for those people. So those people,
families and small businesses.
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
I was trying to queue up the next one.
Yeah, we could drop the next one. That's cool. That lady dropped hot fire.
Now this is a whole another angle right here. These fellas are going to be talking about, and let's get your feedback on that. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. Is that the one? Yeah, here we go. All right. And boom.
We're going to talk about ways to build wealth in the Black community. Let's start with some facts and figures. A new report says the median wealth for Black Americans will fall to zero by 2053 if current trends continue. Also,
what do you think about that fact off the top?
Well, I don't know. If that's what they're projecting, I wouldn't be surprised.
That is crazy. Zero?
Nah, I'm not surprised at all.
Zero net worth.
Yeah, that's about right. It ain't high now.
No, it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, oh my God. All right, let's go.
So household wealth for both Blacks and Hispanics are set to fall by double digits respectively. But it's expected to rise for whites. With the U.S. on track to become a majority-minority country within the next 25 years, the numbers I read to you are troublesome for everyone. However, there is time to turn these statistics around. Today, I'm joined by several experts in building wealth in 4 crucial areas: life insurance, investments, entrepreneurship, and real estate. My first guest is Eugene Mitchell. Eugene is president and CEO of E. Mitchell Enterprises, LLC, a financial literacy and financial services focused company. He's also the author of the book, The 7 Untold Rules for Creating Black Wealth. Let's come together and close the wealth gap. He has served as the corporate vice president and manager of the African American Market Unit within the agency division of New York Life Insurance Company. Welcome, Eugene.
Thank you, Rich. Great to see you.
Good to have you. So let's talk about building wealth from life insurance. Now, they call it life insurance, but it's true you don't get the life insurance benefits if somebody dies, right?
Correct. You know what? There's benefits that you can take, the living benefits.
All right, life insurance. You versed on that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I know about it and I understand it. And so if you have a family, then I think that's different. Life insurance is something that you should look at because what the benefits he's going to talk about is something you could do with another asset. You know, you could collateralize your brokerage account, you could collateralize your real estate. So he's going to talk about it in certain ways. But if you have a family, I think it's good. But also you have to have a family that's also prepared and educated and established as far as who assumes what responsibilities in your said passing. Because the biggest issue with generational wealth, once again, 70% fail within the first generation and lose all the wealth is because it's not properly administered. And regardless if, like I said, your dad's the one who created billions of dollars, let me ask you a question. Who's Martin Luther King's kids? Who's Elon Musk's kids? Who's etc. Steve Jobs' kids? Like just because Steve Jobs did what Steve Jobs, the kids usually don't do nothing.
Right. Michael Jordan's kids.
Exactly. So I could keep giving you examples. So it depends. So, but I think any investment tools or anything that's concerned of thinking in the long term, like life plans, it's good. It's good for people to be interested in that and create a plan for it. So I don't knock it.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. Let's see what they have to say. Life insurance is something that I'm not too familiar with. I know a little bit about it, and I've seen it work in other people's lives. In a friend of mine situation where it came in clutch for his nephews and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna get too much into that.
It's better than big screen TVs for sure.
Oh hell yeah, for sure.
So we can talk about those as well.
Good.
So it's not only when you
jump to So tell me, how do we build wealth from life insurance?
It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Something I'm extremely passionate about.
You seem like the right person to ask about it.
Thank you. Something I'm extremely passionate about because you can not only build wealth with life insurance, I believe it can be a path to closing the wealth gap for families in the Black community. What I mean by this is, and for the most part, we have to rethink what most of us understand life insurance to be. For many in the Black community, I realize over the years, 17 years.
And we're not going to stay on this too long, so y'all hold tight.
Most of us, we've only been taught or misguided to believe that life insurance is about covering the cost of the funeral. It's about final expenses.
Right.
And I realize that that's not what other races, religions, and ethnic groups around us are doing with life insurance. They're using it to create an inheritance. The idea being that each generation doesn't have to start from scratch. So a father in say the white community may take out a $250,000, a $500,000, maybe $1 million life insurance policy. It may cost him a few $100s a month, but he knows that when he passes, that there will be a down payment, the money that will be received, that mom can live off the interests of that money in the bank. The kids can have a down payment for their homes. When you think about some of these gentrifying neighborhoods, how do you get 20% down as a lump sum? Most of us can't save to get that 20% down.
Right.
They can use tools like that proceeds from the life insurance.
So wait, so somebody can get $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million.
I think so far what he's saying is pretty good, and it makes a lot of sense. What do you think?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense in theory, but the numbers prove him wrong. But net, I see what he's saying, and he is right about it.
Okay, cool. All right, let's continue.
Policy, but at what cost? How much does it cost for these life insurance policies?
It varies, especially when you start. Life insurance is priced by your age, by your health, and your ability to pay. So the younger you start, is the more affordable it can be. And so the father might have paid a few $100s a month, starting when he was 20, and then his family grew, and he continued to pay over time.
So the younger you are and the better health, the lower your payment will be.
That's correct.
So if I wanted to take out, for example, first of all, let's start with what kind of policies are there? Life insurance policies are there? I've heard of variable. I've heard of insurance with investment components. I've heard of term.
Right.
Am I right about are these different policies?
No, absolutely.
So what are the difference between these different policies?
So the idea is the investment that suits your need for where you are in your life. That there are some that are called term policies. There's two basic types of policies. You've got the term and you've got a permanent.
Okay, tell me about term first.
Term.
Yeah.
Term is like it says, is for some short span of time. Say a 5-year, 10-year, 15.
All right, we're not going to get too much into the minutia of all this here. Just kind of wanted that, to bring this out as another option and then show the facts and figures they were saying in the beginning, that by 2050 that the net worth of black community is going to be zero.
Zero.
That's a terrifying proposition. So, yeah. Let's see here. Rich Priest says, get life insurance and then send your spouse to Medellin, Colombia with an iPhone. What's the end game in that, Rich? I don't get it. That don't sound like too good of a plan to me. I'm going to pass on that one. All right. Actually, I haven't really watched all of this one, but these guys are kind of boring, so we're going to move on. Good info. I want to lose my 7 people I got watching, 9 people who got watching right now. So we're gonna flip it on to somebody else here. Let's see.
Well, financial channels are gonna have to get their game up with translating their message, right? Because they're just too boring.
Well, us as our people, we gotta be entertained. If you ain't up here shucking and jiving or got some booty shaking, people are gonna tune off real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep it entertaining as well as educational. I'm trying to be like your boy Karis One, edutainment. But yeah, I just thought this was a good something to talk about. That's kind of off the beaten path. That for a lot of us that are trying to be expats and travel bros, passport bros, or whatever, you gotta have your money right to get out there and travel. You know what I'm saying? To do it like you doing. You know what I'm saying? You got a what's the elite visa from Thailand?
Yeah.
So those aren't easy to come by. You gotta have bread. You gotta have means. You gotta have.
Yeah, you gotta pay that. You gotta pay them.
Right. And a lot
but
of
I
people
ain't 55, so it is what it is.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you care to expound on that or not.
I mean, if you want me to, got to travel, so.
Yeah, why not?
So, a Thailand visa, back when I paid for it, was at a different price. But basically, it's like a non-immigrant O visa. It's like a tourist travel visa. You're not like considered a resident as far as immigration goes. But net, it gives you a visa and you're allowed to stay here continuously. You got 90-day reports, but it's done by someone that's hired, like a liaison, a contractor, third-party contractor. And so I just take it to their office and they go to immigration for me and handle everything. And so net, you have that plus other benefits, chauffeured in the airport, executive service, they come and get you at the gate, take you through customs. You ain't got to wait in no lines, basically. That's like a little razzle and dazzle in the back end. It's really for people who will travel in and out of Thailand a lot. I'm just here a lot. But net, and it also puts you in a good tax bracket. Previously, before the new law hit January 2024, we weren't considered tax residents neither. So if I had some capital gains in America, I'm good. If I was making income, I'm good, at least in Thailand. And America, I would still have to have whatever my strategy is. But net, that was an advantage. Now the tax law is different, but I still there's always ways. So I just have it differently, but it's a good advantage.
Now you got a lot of expats and people living there. Well, I guess some of the expats, if they did it right, they can show that proof of income, whatever it is, $2,000 a month from their pension or whatever, so they can stay there. But you got a lot of people making those border runs every 30 days, and that there is a hassle, and it's ridiculous, and it costs money, it's time consuming, and those 30 days are up so fast. You don't want to be making a border run,
Exactly. Or they out here acting like they learned in Thai because they got to get the educational visa. So, which is cool. You get it where you get it, but net.
So that's why you want to get your money up so you can have the super duper exclusive visa to places you want to be.
it was funny because when I flew in originally, I had a girl I used to mess with back in the days.
Mhm.
And anyways, I was coming in Thailand. I didn't tell her anything, but she works at the airport. So I was walking out, and then walking. They drove me, boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
And then she saw me, and she's like, "Hey, Sean, hey." And so she comes up to me, and she's like, "Yo, you remember me?" And she's like, "You're a Thai elite?" And then I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Wow." She's like, "My friends were like, you know somebody who's a Thai elite?" And then she was like, "Yeah, I know him from before years ago." So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that Thai elite ain't no joke. I mean, you gotta have some things in place to qualify for that, for sure. All right, so this next video right here, this is supposed to be the average retirement balance by age and race. I thought this would be something good to throw in to show. So let's check it out.
And retirement. Now, what I want to talk about today is the average financial asset size by generation and race. Okay, let me say that again. The average financial asset balance by generation and race. And you might be asking yourself, why do you want to talk about this? Well, recently, the National Institute of Retirement Security issued a survey about the average financial asset balance for generations and races. And I think it's very important that we understand where other individuals are at in their retirement journeys so that it can help us move towards our retirement future. All right, but before we get into all that, make sure if this is your first time watching the Your Financial EKG YouTube page, you hit the subscribe button below. Sarcastic remarks below, I do read them all, and I try to respond as we go on through this. Now, I've done a few videos about the average investment account balance. I just did that one. It was a Fidelity study that was issued and also highlighted on CNBC. Also, the average 401k balance. What I'm going to get into today are two different values. We're going to talk about the average and we're going to talk about the median. The average can be skewed because you can have a lot of high balances and a lot of low balances, and the high balances will really skew the low balances. The median is going to take everybody and go right to the middle, and that's going to give us a more accurate picture, and you'll see that when we get to the balances. So let's start with right now. We're going to look at boomers, Generation X, and millennials. So boomers are between the ages of 55 and 73. And I'm going to break it down into three races. We're going to look at white Americans, black Americans, and Hispanic Americans, okay? Because that's how the survey broke it down. So that's what we're going to do. So white Americans, the average financial asset balance is $739,000. Now, the median balance, okay, the one you really want to pay attention to, is $80,000. So boomers between the ages of 55 and 73 who are white have a median financial account balance of $80,000. Now, black Americans, the average investment account or financial asset balance is $99,000, but the median is only $5,000. And for Hispanic boomers, the average financial asset balance is $175,000, but the median is only $4,900. Again, all these
so it looks like even Hispanics double us in the boomer category as far as their wealth and their savings and what have you, retirement accounts. Any input?
No, keep rocking.
All right, let's rock.
All this data is from the National Institute of Retirement Security. I'm going to put the link in the description below so you can read the survey yourself. It comes from the Federal Reserve's survey of consumer finance done in 2019. So I'm not just blowing smoke. This is actual survey, actual data. And again, it might not fit you exactly, but it does give us an idea of where the country is financially, asset-wise, by generation, by race. And this is why we have a retirement problem here in America. It's really why we have an income inequality problem here in America, and it's something that we really need to work on solving. And it's something here that at Your Financial EKG, I don't care what generation you are, I don't care what race, I don't care what sex. We want to help individuals get to retirement, get through retirement, and protect their ability to stay in retirement, and that includes all peoples. Okay, So Generation X, which is the age 39 to 54, white Americans have an average account balance, a financial account balance of $392,000. Well, listen to this. The median, $68,000. Now, black Americans in Generation X, ages 39 to 54, they have an average financial asset balance of $80,000. The median is only $9,000. And for Hispanic Americans, the average balance for Generation X, ages 39 through 54, the average is $57,000, but the median is only $4,500. Again, I'm not giving you these numbers to make you feel bad. I really want you to say, okay, this is where I am. This is where my balance is. And if you're doing good, I want you to continue to do good. I want you to continue contributing to your 401k, your IRAs, your brokerage accounts. Continue to save. If you're in one of the categories that are lower, I want you to go, okay, what can I do today to start saving for retirement? How can I contribute to my 401k, an IRA, a Roth IRA? Do I need to do a budget? What are some of the things that I can do today in order to get where I need to be for retirement? All right.
All right.
So let's talk about millennials. So millennials are going to be anyone.
He brings up a point there. God dog, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say that. What was my point I was going to make? Let me rewind, and hopefully it'll come back to me.
It's all good.
So I've been seeing some things where people say 401ks are a scam because you are taking out your money now tax deferred, right? And then later on you're going to pay taxes on it in your retirement as you withdraw it, take it out, right? So a lot of people are saying taxes go up, they don't go down historically. So the taxes that you would pay on your money now would be less than the taxes you're going to pay on the future when you take it out that retirement account. So it would be better to do it after tax investing opposed to a 401k outside of the company matching and stuff like that. If your company's going to match 4%, whatever, then, take the free money. But they're saying otherwise, you're going to lose out because, say, the tax rate right now, that maybe is 10% or whatever. I don't know what it is, but in the future it'll be 25, 30% or whatever. So you're going to get less money in the future, even though it's going to be compounding, growing over time or whatever. What's your take on that?
I don't know. I have to see the numbers on people making those statements to see like how it plays out as versus the company. You got to create a hypothetical. Hey guys, the company don't match. Okay, now we're going that way. So let's talk about the people who don't have the company matching. Now we talk about that and you say, well, hey, the tax is going to be at this rate. Well, you don't technically know. It's a projection, but okay, right. Let's assume you're right. Why can't you do both? Now, if they're arguing that it's not advantageous to do both, then okay, we can have that. But also, the 401k is a way that the account is not managed, meaning underneath your custodian, like your control. You're not managing actively. It's somebody else.
It's not a self-directed IRA or anything like that.
Exactly. So, but if you decide to do that, then you could do that too. I see what they're saying, and I don't think it's a scam. I think it's just better options for people who have different portfolios and different perspectives about how to address the wealth creation.
Okay.
It's just more tools, more ways to go about it. I think what happens a lot with the investment community, we start arguing like, no, that's not how you do it. You do it like this.
Right.
It's bro, look, we're talking to the masses, and masses need everything. So one might not want to do it like that. One might want to pay tax now, and one might not want to pay it now. So depending on how that person is about it, let them choose the vehicles out there, and then they will decide because of their portfolio, their family, and their circumstance.
Their circumstance and their goals, whatever their future.
Exactly. Let's just put out all the options for them, right? Yeah. And try to shy away from the scams. That's it.
Yeah, that's just something that, doing this research and stuff for this, I came across some different things where, and I see their point, but I'm like, well, what the heck are you supposed to do? Invest in your 401k because, like, a lot of people, that's one of the only tools that they might have access, and a lot of times, pensions and 401ks, they become harder to come by these days too, so I don't know if they got matching. I say go for it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely take whatever up to the match, if nothing else.
And then also, if they don't got matching, depending on your portfolio, but let's say you lock it all in, never pay taxes, and then you borrow against it for other endeavors where you don't never need to liquidate it and pull it out. That's a difference too. So actually, your money's still locked in there. That's what, once again, we always talk about what rich people do. Okay, well, 1031. 1031 is me buying a property for 100,000. 5 years later, it's worth 500,000. Instead of selling it and pulling it out, I roll it in a 1031, buy a bigger and better property, borrow more money, and just a snowball effect, create more money and more money. And then at the end of the day, when I got a $10 million portfolio, I never cash in anything. I'm just borrowing against it a lot of the time. I'm just borrowing money against my collateral, which that could be in real estate or stock portfolio or 401k or life insurance. All these things can be something that you collateralize to borrow money at a low interest in the name of making a better investment or paying for whatever.
Right. A lot of people even use like their home equity, that HELOC.
Exactly. HELOCs.
Which is a home equity line of credit, for those who don't know. So yeah, so let's see what else this guy had to say. I don't know if I finished watching this whole video or not, but he might have some interesting facts.
I want to hear what he say about the millennials, the younger generation.
Right. Let's see what he has to say.
Account balance.
Hey, y'all keep the comments coming, y'all. I hope we ain't boring y'all. I hope y'all are getting something out of this. So let's see if there's anything that came through recently. Have you tried gold, oil, or currencies? Get life insurance. Okay, we already read that. That reporter has a Bugs Bunny teeth. He lost me. I missed the message. Okay. Well, yeah, he little Bucky there. Let's see if he can get back on track, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Everybody's commenting and joining the conversation.
Financial account
keep it coming.
Balance of $392,000. Well, listen to this. The median, 39 to 50 retirement, and protect their ability to stay in retirement, and that includes all peoples. Okay, so Generation X, which is the age 39 to 54, white Americans have an average account balance, a financial account balance of $392,000. Well, listen to this. The median, $68,000. Now, black Americans in Generation X, ages 39 to 54, they have an average financial asset balance of $80,000. The median is only $9,000. And for Hispanic American dollars, the median is only $4,500. Again, make you feel bad. I really want you to say, I am. This is where my balance is. I want you to continue to do brokerage accounts. Continue to set categories that are lower. I want you to go start saving for Roth IRA. Do I need to do a budget? What are millennials? So millennials are going to be anyone who is younger than 39. It's the dates of birth are 1981 to 2000. Okay, so white Americans, average account balance for millennials is $63,000. The median balance is $16,000. Black millennials, the average investment account balance is $20,000. The median is $4,800. Hispanic millennials, the average financial account balance is $21,000, and the median is $3,600. Now, obviously, millennials have a little bit of time to grow their assets, and that's what I'm a millennial. So we really need to work hard on growing our retirement assets. No matter where you are in general, if you're a boomer, if you're an X, or you're a millennial, it's important for you to understand where you are financially and if you can retire. Because let me tell you something. I've done videos on Social Security running out of money. We've talked about where, in 2033, Social Security might not be able to fund all of its obligations. And so you need to be planning a retirement that is not planning for Social Security. Medicare is going to be out of money in 2026, and they might not be able to fulfill all their obligations. So you need to be planning a retirement where Medicare might not be involved. So listen, here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to take these numbers, and I don't want you to feel negative about them. I don't want you to feel like I'm down on you or I'm trying to make you feel bad. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at your investment account balance, and I want you to say, okay, what can I do better? How can I improve? How can I grow my retirement assets? How can I retire with the confidence of knowing that I don't need the government and I don't need a handout? I can do this on my own, okay?
All right, let's stop it right there. What's your thoughts?
Man, he was spitting fire at the end. Like, I think that's the most important part that he said is, how can I do this on my own? And then I think,
go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just saying that's just fire, right? You got to be able to do it on your own. I think we look too much in the past, government or the corporation. My granddaddy did this, and we're in 2024.
My mama didn't tell me how to save my money.
Yeah, right. My mama didn't. I didn't come from a family. We got all the excuses. Well, your family never taught you how to twerk. They never taught you how to do all that degenerate stuff that you do, but you learned it from the internet. So go ahead and get some financial literacy from the internet too.
Ooh.
Talk about it.
I thought you were about to go off on the tangent there. I was about to let you rock. All right, let's see
I
what
was
else you got
about
say.
to. I was about to, but I know you was trying to fish out the video, so.
All right, let's let it
reading
rock.
Proverbs, because King Solomon, who wrote the book of Proverbs, probably the wisest man to ever walk this planet outside of Jesus, and he talked about walking by a field. And he said he saw this field, it was a farm, and all the vines were overgrown, and there were weeds everywhere, and the walls around the field were broken down. And he said, you know, this is what's going on with people. They're lazy, they don't work hard, and they don't understand that when the harvest comes, when it's time to pick the grapes, they're not going to have any harvest because they haven't tended their field. That's what I want you to do. I want you to tend your field. I want you to tend to your retirement, your investment accounts, because if you're in your 20s or 30s, let me tell you something, your 50s and 60s are going to be here before you know it. And if you're in your 40s or 50s, your 60s, 70s, and 80s are going to be here before you know it. I sat with an 88-year-old yesterday, and we went through her retirement. She's been a client for a long time, and she said, Drew, it was just the other day that my husband and I were getting married. And she says, and now he's gone, and I'm alone, and I'm 88 years old. And so you really want to start planning your retirement today, all right? Now, if you want help, if you want...
All right, he about to sell something, so we're going to cut him short there. So, but he has some good points, some good...
Yeah. He was spitting that fire, man. What the... Prepare in the spring or beg in the fall, or beg in the winter. So prepare in the spring or beg in the winter. That's basically what he's saying. You're going to have to prepare your own harvest. No one's going to do it for you. And plus, it's 2024. Nobody needs to do it for you anymore.
Right. Well, they say Rich Free said they got the carrots and the rabbits. The man is keeping us down. Is that a good excuse? Hey, I mean, if you want to be a victim mentality, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing, you know what I'm saying, but we trying to escape from that, you know what I'm saying? Pick yourself up from your own bootstraps type of situation.
Oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah. I went there. All right. Let's
yeah, you went there for sure.
In the thing here, let's see. Real quick. Get a little background music here. I'll figure it out.
Oh.
Like my track?
About to drop a bar on him real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead and drop a bar, man.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man.
Huh?
We did it big, did it more for the crib. We did it for the kids, show them how to really live. We did it big, real estate, made it great. We ain't with all the fakes. I ain't trying to escape, I'm trying to contemplate my destination. Tired of this hating, tired of me waiting, procrastinating, waiting for a destiny. Shit, my legacy finna be me. I'm finna live free lifestyle agency.
That's what's up.
I just made that up, bro.
Yeah, you freestyling? That's what's up. I was gonna kick a verse, but I ain't gonna do it.
Go ahead, do it. No, come on.
Okay, all right. Once again, it's your boy Skrilla coming down from H-Town. You know how we get down. I'm putting down the sound. Straight out my track. We're trying to get our money and do the wreck. Shop on all these hoes and make it flop. Well, they be trying to flop, but I'll be trying to make it hot. Let me see. I fell off there for a second. But you know what? I keep wrecking. I don't stop. I keep it going. I keep it hot. I'm coming from the H-Town. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot, but we're going to try to get more. I'm trying to put it on the show. Anyway, that's it.
There we go. Drop the bomb on them.
Oh, drop the bomb on them, huh? Already. Bunch here. We've been we've done all the serious stuff right now. Let's get to something that's more entertaining. I know this is what people really want to see. Let's see here. What's this? They said obstacles are you related to Spike Lee?
Nah.
I don't see no resemblance at all.
Hey, shoot. Let me say I am if he gonna believe me. Shoot, put me on, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee. I see the glasses and all, but besides that, nah. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that I usually deal with is the passport bros, and I'm gonna say, like, as far as a black community, a problem that we do have is conspicuous consumption, which is buying stuff to impress other people, you know what I'm saying, or living outside our means and stuff like that. And it's a big problem, and that's another reason that robs us of our wealth, you know what I'm saying. And today I noticed that a lot of women like scammers opposed to guys that work 9 to 5s, you know what I'm saying. So I was going to just kind of bring that up and talk about how I think women need to have better discernment when they are picking men in life. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here if I can get this one up here. Is it even going to show up? Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let's try this one. All right. So that basically this is you know, talking about that. So it's actually a trend on TikTok about, you know, scammer versus 9 to 5. Let's see what they have to say.
That's appealing about this scammer. That's what I want to know.
He dressed nice, got money, and we could go anywhere. Go to Ruth Chris. But you could go anywhere. Capital Grill. Do a 9 to 5. Oh, is he gonna be tight on the bread when I get paid in 2 weeks?
So once that dude get locked up,
Exactly.
what is on to the next one?
You gonna stay with him?
I'm
hold him down?
I'm gonna take his money and then.
What money? The feds is taking that money when he go to jail.
Well, then he's a girl.
So what are you gonna do though?
I'm gonna continue myself. Be myself. Another scammer.
But you just say you help me, so you going to jail too.
Thoughts?
Oh, thoughts on her? Well,
no,
you know,
just on the whole mentality or the.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be one of them guys that says there's a small amount of girls. I think guys just need to stop worrying about what a girl do and a woman do, period, and just focus on yourself and build yourself up. Like 9 to 5 guys, y'all ain't going to get the respect y'all want because you ain't providing the lifestyle they want. But why would you even set your life up trying to provide for somebody like that? If that's how they see value, then let them find somebody else to do that. But for us, I work my 9 to 5. I work my jobs. I ain't trying to please no woman. I'm pleasing my own life. I only get one life on this planet. So at the end of the day, it's about me.
Bars. Bars.
I can give a damn. And then plus, once again, there's a global marketplace, bro. I'm valued anywhere.
Right. But I mean, it's prevalent in this society that you know, young men, they have to put up a certain image to talk to women because they want the guy with swag, they want the guy got money, got this, that, and other. And you know what I'm saying? And that's just something that you grow up with dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's not till we get a little older and we can travel and see different things and have, you know, discernment about these type of women, like you saying to begin with. A young man may not have that same wisdom or knowledge, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll fall into to
the trap.
To the trap, exactly.
I didn't think this out. I didn't think this through.
Need some money.
I'm at work right now.
Baby, I need my hair done, baby.
How much is it?
It's $500.
I don't get paid till Friday.
That's cool because I'm leaving till this weekend.
Next Friday. That's
next
Friday.
Next Friday.
Look,
next Friday.
I gotta get back to work. I gotta get back to work.
Next Friday.
How about? Can I go half with you?
Half? I don't have no money right now. That's why I'm asking you.
That's the 9 to 5.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do. I gotta get back to work. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, baby, all right. Damn, like, I swear, I'm sick of this shit.
No,
Boy, where's you at?
I'm over east right now. What's up? You good?
Look, I need some money for my hair. I need my hair done.
I got you. You good?
For real? 500.
All right, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, you can just cash app
If
if
you
you
don't do no fucking cash out, just come pull up on me. Come get this shit.
Hey, I forgot you don't. Okay, I'll pull up on
So
you.
that's why they like to scammer. He gon'
I take me a 9-to-5 nigga over a scammer and a trapper any day. You gotta think about it, right? Trapper is living that lifestyle where he wanna run with the hood, Johns, and all them dirty little girls. Like, I'm not one of them. I'd rather fuck with a guy that's working a 9-to-5. Like, fuck are you talking about? I don't care. I'm gotta explain myself.
I told y'all this before, but I'm gonna say it again because I need y'all to hear me. Do not let social media determine your relationship expectations. I'm telling y'all now, comparison is the thief of joy. Half of these motherfuckers be setting unrealistic expectations anyway.
Would you date a scammer or 9 to 5?
A scammer.
Ooh. Why a scammer?
9 to 5? No, we don't do that. We don't do that. No.
Yeah, boy. Would you date a scammer or 9 to 5?
9 to 5.
Why 9 to 5?
Because gotta respect the hustle and all that scamming shit's haram anyways.
Haram.
Smart. You're loyal. You're grateful. I appreciate that.
So yeah, that I just want to kind of throw this little section in here. A lot of guys will fall into that trap. You know what I'm saying? To be working out the trap. You know what I'm saying? Trying to impress these type of women. They want athletes, they want scammers, they want, that fast money that is not thinking down the line or the future. It's just about the here and now. And a lot of guys, like now, I don't know if you've paid attention to the rap industry. There's so many rappers coming up dead and stuff over the last few years. Like, it ain't like it used to. I mean, rap's always had a negative connotation to it, but it's like really bad nowadays. So, yeah, I just want to throw this little segment in here because I thought it was kind of interesting. Because I think a lot of times that it's up to the women to do better. You know what I'm saying? Have better discernment of the type of men that they deal with. Because in the end, they always try to say we all aren't no good. We all aren't living up to our whatever. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's who they pick.
But I don't really listen to anything they say. I'm gonna have an extreme view on this compared to every other man that you're probably gonna come across. But net they're gonna complain either way.
Right.
Like there's guys, they sit next Elon Musk and they complain about him. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's really at the end of the day, it all depends on whatever they're doing over there, man. That's what they're doing over there. I really don't use that to evaluate my life because you're gonna be effed up. Like I said, if I say women should value this and that, they're not gonna listen to you. They don't care about what you say. They're gonna violate. And then them dudes, they're gonna be simps and they're gonna pursue that life in order to give them the cash. Go ahead, it's $500 for that. I'm gonna put $500 on Apple, and we're just gonna move different. I'd rather have my future secured than run around and do what everybody else is doing. So I get it, and why men got to be smarter. They just got to say, hey, look, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not going down that road. And shoot, that's not the girl for you anyways. You want them girls to go that way. Thank you for telling me this. You want the scammer. Gotcha.
Right.
And then she go be with the scammer. Like they can ride off into the sunset until the FBI show up.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That good point. Good point, man. Yeah, I want them to have better future too, because it's like there's so many now women, like they got this attitude in their 20s. These are all young women, obviously. They hit 30, 40, and they're talking about where all the good men go and like how come nobody try to holler or whatever. It's like, you squandered off your best years running the streets, you know what I'm saying? And
but that's like me. I commit a bunch of crimes, sell a bunch of crack, and then I get busted. Then I say, where all the good jobs go 10 years down the road.
Right.
Like, it is what it is, man. Right. And I don't want look, for me, I want every human to have their choice, right or wrong. So I can't control you anyways. You would call me a dictator. You throw me in the clinky clink if I try to tell you how to live your life. That's called abuse too. Stop trying to change these women's life. You out here abusing them. That's what they're going to say down the road.
Yeah, you stay in my lane, huh?
So for me, hey, I don't even hear what you're saying when you're 32. Like hey, look, You made your choice. Now lie in it. And then that's it. And we keep it pushing. But I think, like I said, the women or men, whoever, they're going to make their choices. And then we're just going to have to get real with it and be like, y'all want better for you. You can't help nobody who don't want to save. What did 3-6 Mafia say? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
Can't save them. Can't save them. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I just, try to show a better way and talk about it. Like, hey, discernment is very important. You know what I'm saying? So, but, people going to do what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? I hate that it's like that in our community. You know what I'm saying? It's swag over substance a lot of times.
It's been like that for a while.
Yeah, it's been like that for a minute, for a long time. And it's like, you hear all these stories like, oh, I thought he had this, that, and other. He was broke. He was just front. There is a whole thing right now going on. You heard of stealth wealth, huh? Before?
No, never heard of that.
Well, as the times get tougher and more crimes are being committed, a lot of the rich folks, they're dialing down their opulence, to blend in more. You know what I'm saying? So
okay,
I'm thinking, that's more of a better way for people to go. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be showing our wealth all the time, or, but in our community, it's such a big thing to do that. Like as soon as you get two nickels to rub together, you want to go out and tell the whole world. And
yeah, exactly.
I get it. If you ain't ever had it, once you get it, you want to, you want to let people know. But
yeah, I used to do the same, so I get it. But once I had value for myself, I'm just speaking on myself because I don't want to project on other people. But I had a sense of being valueless, so that was the problem. I had to fill myself up with value, and then after that, I didn't care what the world said. That's why when people be coming with the race thing, I'd be like, I don't care. Not because I don't care. It's like this: nobody beating me. I don't care what group you come from. You can't hang your hat on John D. Rockefeller no more. I'm here in the flesh. Be better than me.
Conspicuous consumption is the act of purchase.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So that's what that is. A lot, a lot of group things. People try to hang their hat on the laurels of their ancestors. Like, oh man, we had John D. Rockefeller, we had Einstein, but you not Einstein. You in debt, and I'm not. So let's get busy in 2024. So I don't need to hang my laurels on the past. I'm right here in the present. So get busy with me now.
Ooh-wee. That's what's up. Okay, I'm gonna show a few more videos and I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been on here over 2 hours, man.
Yeah.
So I was talking about conspicuous consumption. I was gonna show like a little clip on that. Let's see here. Let's see. Maybe a few other things I may not hit before this night is over, but we'll try to get as much of this stuff in as we can. So here we go. Boom, boom.
Conspicuous consumption is the act of purchasing goods or services simply for the purpose of displaying one's wealth, of displaying one's prestige.
Clothes, treat yourself. Fragrances, treat yourself.
There's even a positive relationship between the income of a state's richest households and the number of bankruptcies in that state, meaning that the more wealthy the households are, the higher the level of bankruptcies. This is because of conspicuous consumption. This is because of people trying to spend for the sake of everyone else seeing how wealthy they are.
When Jay-Z had nothing, he was dripping in conspicuous consumption. I mean, the chains and the diamonds and the Gucci and the Fendi, everything, head to toe, top to bottom, front to back. And now the guy's worth $1 gazillion, and every picture you see, he's in a black t-shirt and jeans. No diamonds, no anything, because he has nothing to prove today. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows he's worth $1 gazillion. So for me, it's always so interesting to see those people that are conspicuously flexing. I always wonder, like, are those the people that are just doing it to get your attention, to make you think that they have the money, and they've spent it on a bunch of shit, they don't have any money to buy a house? That's what I always think.
When black people get mad, it's like they're talking over
No, I wanted to hear that joke. I know he was about to say something funny, maybe.
Oh yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I thought it was funny, but I just want to see if you had anything to say about.
Okay.
Actually, the next video wasn't even supposed to be in this playlist. I don't even know how it got there, but it's funny.
But no, I was gonna say, yeah, conspicuous consumption. I hear what they're saying, and yeah, it makes 100% why those people did it. And I think also you just don't know what to do with your money. You know what I'm saying? It could be a mix of that. Jay-Z probably later on learned what to do with his money. He was put on game. But that's why I say the internet, you could put yourself on game.
Well, in the rap industry, especially in the 90s, even now, you know what I'm saying, you got to look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You flex on the image to,
Well, not so much now because, there's people who change the game in that, like a Kanye or like J. Cole. That dude be raggedy all the time. He never was flamboyant, but that was his edge.
Yeah.
But the majority of the actual rap, yes, it comes in that form. But I know I got Thai people out here dressed like that because of hip hop, right? They dress like that out here in Thailand.
Yeah.
And so it has that effect. But net, on the grand scheme of things, people do the same thing that are not even from the culture, right? They do it when it comes to the Mercedes-Benz, the Joneses next door, keeping up with the Joneses.
Right.
And that's why I think even when I told them my lifestyle, I pay like $200 for my apartment per month. They was like, oh, you broke. You don't get no money. See, if you have money, you be in a villa. And I'm like, as a single man just by myself, I'm going to be in a huge villa that I got to upkeep. Like, this stuff is nonsense. So it's just like, it just doesn't make any sense. Kanye and Elon got nothing.
That's so dope that you over there saving money on top of, not be, you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly
$200 a month. Like, man, I miss being in Thailand. Like, God, dog.
Why would I ever increase it? Just because? Like, nah, man, I'm good.
I mean, yeah, you only need so much space. That's the thing about men. Like, we don't need much to be happy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we got a futon and a PlayStation 5. Shit, we straight on 4.
That's it, bro.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, we're going back to the joke here. All right, here we go.
When black people get mad, it's like they're talking over a fence. Hey, excuse me.
Hello, America. What's your...
That was the joke. That wasn't even supposed to be in there, but somehow I got in my playlist. Let's see what's the next one.
stockbroker done for you lately? Here's what we're doing. 540% last year. You want to see...
If we could extirpate the dysfunctional underclass culture.
Fatherlessness.
And that is something that is tearing down Blacks' potential to succeed by embracing this oppositional culture that says that academic effort and achievement is acting white. It glorifies criminality, glorifies conspicuous consumption, misogyny, maximal procreation, having as many children as you can by different baby mamas. If we could get, I would say, an intervention that was maybe focused less on the cognitive matters and more on simply deferring gratification, self-control, the types of issues that Edward Banfield wrote about in the Unheavenly City, that would be the most important thing to focus on, because I'm not sure that efforts to change the cognitive skills gap will be that successful over time. But really, all we ask is people to respect the law and to restrain their impulses.
Thoughts? I should probably play this video earlier. I was trying to get away from the heavy stuff, but I had a whole bunch of videos, and I haven't curated it right. So go ahead.
So addressing something like, first of all, I'll target the first thing. Tell her to get out of here with that misogynistic stuff, right? Nobody want to hear that, okay?
Right,
that's one.
Right.
We need to get rid of misandry. That's what got the fathers out of the household. And if you don't know what misandry is, then you need to go look it up. But it's just misogyny, just flipped. Women hate men.
Right.
So your households are fatherless because of misandry. Let's get that clear. A lot of other groups are losing their fathers through misandry. Okay. So the misandry amongst the culture, especially in the West, and it's expanding in the world too, is at an all-time high. So the sexes are separating. Let's assume that she's right about misogynistic behaviors and attitudes from men. Okay, cool. Let's give her that.
Okay.
Then the same women have misandry against men also. And this is why you see people just breaking up. Marriages at a low, or excuse me, at an all-time low. And divorces rates. Go to Japan, over here in Asia, it ain't no better. The two genders don't even face each other. They're over there and another party's over here. So I think that's number one. We got to talk about misandry too. Then going into the fatherlessness and all that other stuff, I mean, that would help. But what I would say a lot, we sit back and we always sit on our pedestal about fathers not being there and this and that, and that's the key to success. No, it is. Look, guys, we need financial literacy. I'm not trying to argue whether two couples can mate and stay together for 30 years. That seems like a hard thing to do. Y'all can go out here and try to push that narrative. Cool. I'm not against it. I'm not trying to stop y'all.
Right.
But one thing I am trying to say is, regardless if your family's together or not, you need to learn financial literacy. Period.
Right. Yeah.
Financial
That's
literacy
the basis of it.
Will do way more for you than aligning two people together in a single nucleus family household. It's financial literacy that will give you the skill sets to be able to plan out your financial security. And once you do something like that, then you could build out a family any way you want to. So I think the financial literacy is the thing, and people think fathers are just like a fix. No, what if your father's not financial literate? What does he know about economics? What does he know about the ever-changing landscape that's before him? He lost his job because Ford went to China. So he don't know much either. So that's where we have to be active as the next generation, leverage the technology, become financially literate, and do things that our parents and our great-grandparents couldn't even imagine.
Right. Yeah, I just think like they're talking on a socio-economical level that
but they always talk like that. Conservatives talk like that, then the left talk like that, and they go back and forth about it. And trying to police people's genitals and how they have sexual relations is just super hard and complex.
Right.
You can't unless you're going to shame, start throwing people in prison. Like it has to come with consequences and enforcement and shaming and guilt. And we're not in a culture like that anyways. Or you're going to have to fight it out with the left about it. So what I am saying is, regardless of either direction, let's learn financial literacy, because all the families from the past were still struggling and still broke and still impoverished, no matter if they were together or not.
This AI tool.
True.
So I think we get distracted with conversations about
take your idea and create a complete book, complete with design, images, layout, everything, including.
No, there was some video plans. I don't know.
Intellectual.
Oh, on my side or?
Yeah, no, I hear it in the video stream.
Oh, damn. Okay. I thought I muted it out. I'm still trying this new mixer out and stuff. So I guess it's
okay. Yeah.
It muted it for me, but it didn't mute it for you. That's good to know. I appreciate that. All right, my fault. I didn't mean to mess up your
Nah. You good.
Yeah, here's another video. I don't know if we're gonna watch it or not, but we'll see what she has to say from the beginning.
Hey y'all, it's Lectual of Intellectual Media, and today we're going to be talking about the history of Black people showing off money. After approximately 300 years of free labor, the majority of the Black population struggled to move up through the social ladder. After all, there was a lot of lynching, destruction, and discrimination going on in the Jim Crow era South. Many struggled to get their own property, get well-paying jobs, and just generally move up the ladder. Although a few Black people did manage to make a name for themselves thanks to being wealthy. One such man was Jeremiah Hamilton, who prospered on the mid-19th century Wall Street scene. He owned a home in the city and several boats in a time when many Northern Blacks were being rounded up and shipped down south thanks to the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. In the Charleston antebellum South, elite free...
Oh man, we ain't gonna get on to this. They're taking it too far back. Rich Free says Thailand accommodations top notch for low price. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Rich Free Still Life, Fit Travel, Razor Rays to Thailand 2024. Let's make it all happen. Let's make it happen. I'll be there. I'd love to go back to Thailand, man. I need to go back. There's a lot of stuff I didn't do when my trip there because I ended up getting hurt.
Oh,
yeah, I fell off a scooter and
but they
got
took care of you,
infection on
right?
my foot. Huh?
I said, but they probably took care of you, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
they
at the
took care of me
hospital or
real well,
whatever.
man. Yeah, they took care of me. I was going to the clinic every day, get bandages changed, and on my foot and stuff. It'd be like $5. Some days they wouldn't even charge me. You know what I'm saying? The
It's
nurses
lit,
were,
man.
yeah, they looked out, man. But anyway, I'm
They
going ahead
keep
and
that
wrap
drink
this up,
strong.
OTO. I appreciate you coming, man. We over about 2.5 hours. 2.5. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna cut it short because people ain't gonna watch the replay if it's too long.
Yeah, could I say something on the way out?
Yeah. I'll let you go ahead. I'm gonna let you get your
Oh man, he gonna put me on big screen.
You don't want to be on the big
Hey.
screen? Go ahead. See what you got to say.
So nah, man. Hey, as I always tell people, regardless if you subscribe or not to my channel, it's all cool. I ain't tripping. Look, the biggest thing I tell people is there's victimhood everywhere. Whether it's the quote unquote black community, you're gonna get it in the middle class community. Once you get out of the blacks, they're gonna tell you at the middle class, hey man, we oppressed by the 1%. Finally, you left that black stuff. Now come with us. Then you're gonna go to the conservatives. The liberals, they're destroying our country. We need to bring back this. Everybody has that. The most important thing for you to do is control yourself. That's all you have control. You don't have control over Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, Trump,
Right.
none of that. You have
Right.
control 100% every day of yourself and what you do. So I say that's the most easiest thing to address. I give most people this. More people spend time talking about, let's say, the country being in $31 trillion of debt, right? Let's say that the country is $31 trillion in debt and you're $200,000 in student debt, right? Which one is more important? Me to wipe away the national debt for you or your own debt?
To you, your own debt.
Exactly. So focus on your own life. Focus on what you got going on. And then guess what? If a lot of people do that, guess what? Americans are doing great. It doesn't go down to make America great again. It goes down to making Americans great. Americans have to be great themselves, have to be financially literate, have to be able to take down any future that we find ourselves in. Industrial jobs are gone. We're doing the service sector now. We're creating better companies. NVIDIA just created $1 trillion in the last 48 days in their market value. That's what we can do with businesses that we create in the United States of America. Our economy's number one, ranked supreme all across the world. There's money out there for you to make. I don't care what nobody else is saying. Who was enslaved? Martin Luther King, this. Marcus Garvey told you. Your destiny is in your hands. Marcus Garvey opened up a stock market for the Star Line. Marcus Garvey had economics that backed up his talk. Not only just talk, he had walk. Marcus Garvey told you it's an economic imperative that you need to go out here and compete and get busy. Nobody can defeat me, regardless of what they got, inherited or not. They are not finna beat me in this lifetime, in the next, if I get one. So shout outs to you. You control your own destiny. Shout outs to Still Life.
Amen.
Talk
Amen.
that.
Hey.
Facts on the city.
Already. We got 100 from Rich Free. This brother speaking facts, no doubt, man. Salute, man. Salute to you, OTO. I appreciate you following through. Made this live even much liver. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate it, and we'll have to do it again, man. I'm trying to come up with more titles, more things to talk about, not just girls and travel. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all they say we're about. You know, passport bros, travel, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you a passport bro. I don't know if you identify as that or whatever. They're going to lump us all in one area or nothing. But it's more to it than just chasing skirts around the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if that's what you want to do, you got to have money to do it. So get your money up.
Facts on the city.
You know, so that's that, man. And I was going to do a closing monologue or something like that, but we're going to skip all that, man. I'm just going to close it out. I appreciate everybody following through. Let me go through the roll call. I'm going to do an OTO style. Shout out to Razor Rays. He dropped the first comment on here. He got he came through, looking through. We got Rich Free in the house. appreciate you for coming through for the show. Got Jima's World. Appreciate you, Jima. Jima's always supporting. Check out his channel. He's doing nice things there. Been to Colombia, and I'm sure he's going to be traveling again soon, so y'all check him out. You know what I'm saying? We got Jamie's in the house. Appreciate you falling through, Jamie's. Who else we got? DC Born Rob came through. Appreciate you, DC Born Rob. Let's see here. We got Jaime Ross. Appreciate you. Christopher Weary came through earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but appreciate you. Appreciate you. Of course, we got OTO. He's on the screen with us. Who else we got? Let's see. I want to make sure I got everybody. Fit Travel. A travel avenger. Thank you for following through, my brother. Razor Rays once again. And do we have anything else? Buck Travel was here earlier, but he didn't leave a comment. Shout out to you. Got Brian Ing doing his thing. OMG. Ottawa Mukbang Gang in the building. Got my boy Ka Ma. C.A. Ma. Appreciate you falling through. Of course, my boy Norman. Looking forward to his next trip to Roatan. I'm going to start dropping footage for my Roatan trip really soon, so y'all be looking out for that. Let's see here. And I think that might be everybody. Salute to the chat. Everybody came through. I do appreciate y'all. And we'll have to do it again. If anybody else got anything else to say in the chat, drop it now. If not, we'll catch y'all next time. Any ideas from you, OTO, as far as show ideas for me that I might want to try out going forward, or what you think?
Nah, keep doing what you're doing, man. I support you, man. Take your show wherever direction you want to. It's your channel, and I got your back. But I do like you saying, highlighting some other things about overseas versus chasing skirts. So shout outs to you for that too.
Of course, man. Of course. They always try to pigeonhole us and, tell us what we're doing and what we're all about. And that's not what everything's all about. You know what I'm saying? You over there doing big things, you know what I'm saying? You passed that. I'm sure you've had plenty of skirts in your life, you know what I'm saying? There's more to life than just skirts, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, let's just keep building, man, and we'll have to do this again. I appreciate you. And salute to everybody.
No problem. I'm here.
Yes, sir. And we're out of here, man. And I'll talk to you later, man. We'll catch you. We'll catch you on the back end, man. I don't know if you got my if you still got my Instagram or whatever, not Instagram, but WhatsApp. Hit me up, you know what I'm saying, so I get your new number or whatever. All
yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're out of here. Salute and peace. Yes, sir.